see all of me? Walk into my mystery. Step inside. Hold up for dear life.
Let's come up with a song, 3 words at a time. You ready? Okay, I'm gonna start. Okay.
Okay.
Live and learn.
Hanging on the
Edge of tomorrow. Wow, we're really good at this.
Hey everybody, welcome back.
Hey,
Welcome back
hey,
to the Yappin' Show.
the Yappin' Show. You can't say
Welcome
what
to
it
the
actually
Yappin'
is. Don't tell
Hour.
anybody what it actually
We
is.
can't say what it is because then people won't watch.
People will dip the frig out, and I don't know
People
what's
won't
going
watch.
on.
How's everybody?
Check this out. Look,
Hey,
is that
YouTube.
the Sonic, the Sonic the Hedgehog ice?
You wish.
I do wish it's not.
I
It's a
wish
hot topic
Ice
for people.
JJ Fish
Alternative.
would send me the diamond crusted Shadow the Hedgehog
Oh my
necklace.
goodness, I want that so badly. I want which one? I want the. They have so they have like these really, for people who don't know, they have these high end ice necklaces that are like completely embroidered with like I don't know,
Like
what kind of like
diamonds.
diamonds, but not real diamonds, but like diamonds.
Yeah.
Uh, it's still like high end and it's still like it looks really really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I want this so bad. They have like a Sonic Tails, Knuckles Shadow. I think Amy.
Oh, they have a ton of
They have a ton,
Sonic
and they have
characters.
a Chow and Dark Chow. I
Mm-hmm.
really want the Dark Chow one. It
I
looks
want
so cute.
the Hero Chow.
Oh yeah, we should get matching ones.
We should. They're like $150, which isn't crazy if they're like high quality, but it's King Ice is the name of the company. And they
Yeah,
have sponsored or given stuff to a lot of like streamers and gamers and stuff like that. And I'm like, one day I will receive one of those. Mark my
I hope
words.
so. Yeah, I love a little chain, a little necklace. I used to wear a chain at all times, but the last time I had I like a little gold chain. It was just like a little subtle one that I had.
Mm-hmm.
I used to wear it all the time. I wore it to Florida, and it was not prepared for the salty sea
Oh
air.
yeah, yeah.
So that thing got frigged up. It is basically green now.
It is very, very salty down. Like you walk outside and it's just like, huh, my skin is moist.
Yeah, so I didn't do that. I'm not gonna do that again. I don't
Yeah.
have a chain anymore. I have this little thing, which my friend Brick bought for me,
Mm-hmm.
so we can wear matching necklaces to the Sonic 3 movie premiere.
We got our
We
tickets.
got our tickets,
We
baby.
got
I
our
just dropped like
tickets.
$200 on movie tickets.
Yeah.
So me, Mandy, and like a bunch of other people can go see it. We bought
Mm-hmm.
like 8 seats, and of course
Yeah.
Canadian prices as well. We got our entire setup. We got our whole lineup for the Sonic movie.
Mm-hmm.
I would have loved for some other stream characters to be there as well, such as Spielermon and MaeMaeTown, but MaeMaeTown is not going to be here at that time, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't ask Spielermon. So that's that's
Well,
where
he's
we're at.
probably gonna see it at a theater closer to where he lives, right?
He is really not that close. So
They
he's
don't
like,
have one
it would take him like an hour and a half to drive here, maybe 2 hours to drive
to
here
go to a theater.
to go see the movie
Wow.
with us. With us.
Oh, I just mean they have a theater though, don't they?
Oh yeah, they can go see it
Okay,
somewhere
so
close.
they'll go see
He
it.
hasn't. He hasn't even seen the second one yet.
Oh, okay. Well, I will say before we get further into it, we will be doing a Discord stream of the Sonic 2 movie. So if you're not a part of the Discord, or if you are a part of the Discord, we will be streaming Sonic 2 before the third movie comes out, probably that week. So
Yeah,
come through for that if you want to watch Sonic 2 together.
the Sonic hype is happening. You know, we just came off of Wicked,
Woo! Let's
which
just hold
was
on. Let's just
what's happening.
you
Oh,
you
I can't.
can't hear because it's on Discord, but I just applauded. I just did a standing ovation for Wicked.
I didn't know anything about Wicked prior, except for some music that you had shown me, and I was actually blown the frig away
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
at Wicked. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
unreasonably good. The music. I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm not gonna spoil anything because it's too new. Go watch the movie. All I'm gonna say is it was beautiful. The movie was incredible. The music gives me chills. Everything was great. So go give that a watch. Give it a watch.
Yeah. Um, yeah, needless to say, I'm obsessed. I can't wait to see it again. I don't know when I'm gonna see it again, but it blew my expectations away. Like I had high expectations because I had already seen clips from the movie. I'd already heard the music from the movie a little bit, and I just knew that it was gonna be incredible. But like when I tell you, like you just have to experience it to understand the gravity of just how astonishing it is. It is probably one of my favorite movies ever, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. It's a little too early for me to jump that gun, but I really honestly
That's
feel like
fine.
it deserves that title.
That's
When
fine.
I get Now I'm gonna say when I get chills like that, but I do get hype very easily, and I get chills over the stupidest things.
Mm-hmm.
But that movie was like a lot of chills, especially at the end there. Like I
Yeah.
said, not gonna talk too much about it. This is it. Don't If you're worried about spoilers, you're like, ah, great, they're talking about this. I gotta change the channel. You don't. Don't worry about it. Like we're not
No
gonna be talking about it
spoilers.
really. Literally not gonna say a single thing about the plot. I just liked it. It was really cool. But yeah, so we're coming off of that hype right now, and we're moving straight into Sonic because as soon as that movie finished, we got the Sonic trailers.
What a high we've been on.
Yeah.
Which,
So
yeah. So Wicked was amazing. If you haven't seen Wicked, you need to go as soon as possible. Maybe go on Thanksgiving with your family or friends, but just go as soon as you can because like it is truly such an amazing experience. And like they kept that movie under wraps. Like when I saw it, I was like, wow, I can't believe that like a lot of this stuff didn't leak. Like we really only saw what they gave us for
yeah.
marketing. And so you go in almost like completely blind besides like the clips that they showed leading up to the release. And so it just feels like you're seeing like the theater production for the first time, you know? The way that the choreography and the pacing of the movie moves is so flawless, and it's a 2 hour and 40-minute movie. It feels like 30 minutes. It's
Yeah,
quick.
that was the fastest. Like I saw the Batman in theaters, and sure, you could say, "Oh, it's a pretty good movie." That movie was
The movie
way
was
too long.
long.
That was my biggest takeaway as I was watching. I was like, "Why is it so
Yeah.
friggin' long? It's long as hell." I'm looking at my watch. I'm like, "What is going on here?"
Ugh, that's how you know.
Uh, that's how you know it's like you kind of have a stinker on your hands.
Hmm.
But like I don't know, this one held my attention the entire time, and I was just like
No, literally, the
happy
whole
little kid
time,
watching Inspector Gadget in theaters for the first time.
the whole time I was looking up at the screen with like my hands like on my face, just giddy as hell watching every single moment of this movie. And just it's pure magic. I did a
Yeah,
YouTube vlog about going to see the movie, and there's no spoilers in it at
yeah,
all.
go check that out.
It's just my spoilerless review of the movie right after I saw it. So if you know want to hear more of my review on the movie, I have a video on my YouTube channel. But
More live reactions.
yeah, I dressed up a little bit per the last podcast episode. I made a little outfit for the movie, and
It was very cute.
yeah, I will say like there were more like diehard Wicked fans in that theater than there were people who were kind of like experiencing it for the first time, or they were going with a friend who's a huge Wicked fan.
Did you
Because
get a lot
like
of singers?
no, you know what's crazy is I don't know if I just got a good audience. Every single person in that room didn't say a peep until it was like time to react.
You know, I think these people might just be respectful. I think it's a respectful fandom
It
because,
is.
same. I'm very, very far from you, and even in my theater, we
Hmm.
had nobody singing, but people getting a little excited,
Oh yeah.
respectfully excited.
No, we clapped after the big numbers. Like there was like applause and audible reactions to big moments and funny lines. Like Ariana Grande was hysterical in this movie. Like, she
You know
stole
what
the
it felt like?
show.
It felt like when she was back in her victorious days, you know? Like, it
Yeah,
felt like that kind of early, kind of like she started from comedy,
right.
right? She's always been funny.
Mm-hmm.
I think she kind of got to flex that a little bit here. You know, a lot of people these days just know her for her music. When I first discovered Ariana Grande, it was because of I used to really like iCarly when I was in my teens,
Mm-hmm.
um, which like I would say I was when I watched iCarly, I was like just slightly out of the demographic. I was like 16, 17, right?
Mm-hmm.
I watched it all one day. I binged it when I got really sick. I just watched the entirety of iCarly. But then I heard that they had a follow up show to Sam and Cat, um, and that was really funny. And then I watched a little bit of Victorious as well,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, this girl is by far the best character. Like her character Cat, and I was like, she's my favorite. Like she plays this kind of airheaded,
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know. She was just like by far the best character in that show, and it wasn't close.
Yeah.
So that's how I knew her, and then I didn't even know she did music for the longest time. And of course, she absolutely killed it on there as well. So
Yeah. Well,
I was kind of excited to see her in this role where she can kind of flex both of those.
oh my gosh, yeah. Like, well, first of all, she was born to be on stage. She was born to be in a theatrical role.
Yeah,
She's done Broadway and theater since she was like 5 years old. So she's been training for this for a long time, and uh, like like I mentioned, I think I mentioned this in my vlog, but this was her biggest dream. This role, like of
yeah,
all time, this is like one of the only things that she ever wanted in life, and she really spent her entire life manifesting this and working for it. She started training for this role like years before there were even auditions. She started going
yeah,
to a vocal coach to train her voice for Glenda. She started, like taking acting lessons to like fit more of the vibe that would be required of her. And
yeah.
so like there are a lot of great actresses out there that I know were kind of up for the role, but she truly deserved it the most, I think.
She did incredible.
So good.
And I'm so glad they chose her, someone with that like comedic background. They really needed someone to nail both those roles.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to say really quick. I know this is a great disclaimer. 15 minutes into the podcast, but if I sound a little tired and congested, it's because I literally woke up 20 minutes before we started, and then I had hiccups and a little
Mm-hmm.
cough. I'm not getting sick. I'm not getting sick, but like I just woke up, and that was my bad. I passed the frick out
Well, that's
right
like your
after work.
nap,
So
and your napping time is right after work because you have to get up so early for work.
I
So
did. I get up really early. I'm not. It kind of does sound like my sick voice. Maybe I'm getting sick. I don't feel it though.
no,
But
that's how you sound when you wake up, I think.
I've been like, I have my mouse hovering over the Discord mute button because of the foul
Oh.
sounds I'm making right now.
Oh, I can't hear
I
him
have
at
to
all,
constantly.
so
I've been pretty. I'm like, I have my hand on the mouse at all times over the
dang.
Discord mute button.
Well, you're doing a
Honestly, at
great
this point, I
job.
should just be pushed to talk. Just hold it every time I want to talk.
Yeah.
Mute any other time.
Like an
But
intercom.
yeah, yeah. So if you hear me, I'm a little crispy. That's fine. I
That's
actually don't
okay.
mind my when I'm getting sick.
It's
My voice
nice.
is a little deeper, and it kind of rumbles a little bit. And it feels nice.
Mm-hmm. It sounds nice, right? Right, chat? Sounds
It,
really
I
nice.
oh, thank you, chat. They know it means I'm getting sick, so
Well,
but I'm not though. I'm
it
not.
is really cold in Canada right now, which I'm going to be experiencing in a few weeks.
That's true. It's honestly really nice right now. It is. Is it at freezing level?
I will say though, Atlanta's in that really annoying time of year where one day it'll be 45 degrees and then the next day it'll be 65. So like you'll go out with like a puffer jacket and then immediately take it off because it's too hot. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, it's the holidays. I want it to be cold. I want it to be 45 degrees so that I can dress
I
like it.
I need to be immersed in these holidays, and it's
Me
not just
too.
because I'm actually Santa Claus. Here's a picture for the VOD watchers.
Yeah, I'll put
Uh,
the picture up.
if you remembered, if you didn't remember, that's cool too.
I will remember.
Uh,
Let's see. 15 minutes. Okay.
yeah. Oh, also, yeah, I want to say a really quick hello. I'm getting distracted here, but a really quick hello to the Twitch chat. For Spotify listeners and YouTube listeners, I'm giving this disclaimer a little bit early, but we do record these live. Come hang out with us on Twitch. Right now in the
Please.
Twitch chat, we have a young goose. We got a young goose. We got Howling Sights, JT, the King says. Uh, we got Ricky, who says W sick
Ricky.
voice, and JT says you do sound a little deeper right now. Hey, I appreciate both of you.
Did we say
Just
Howling
nice.
Scythes too?
I hope so. If I didn't, that's rude. I
I
think I
couldn't
said Howling
remember.
Sights second.
Maybe, yeah.
If I didn't say Howling Sights, we also have Howling Sights as well. Wonderful community. I appreciate all you coming through.
Yes,
And if
thank
you are
you.
listening and you want to be a part of this, or you just want to watch it live, you don't even have to really chat if you don't want to. Come hang out with us. Let us know
Please.
how. You know what the biggest thing you can do is show up and let us know how our volume levels are.
Yes, because sometimes it doesn't happen till 20 minutes in.
Sometimes, and we don't forgive.
And someone's like, Mandy, you sound a little quiet. I'm like, oh,
You
what
sound a
time is
little
it?
tiny.
Oh, yeah, it's been 20 minutes. Cool. I guess I'm going to be manually adjusting the audio levels that are going through one channel.
We got.
I know what I'm doing tonight.
Great.
Great. I love it. It's
I
fine.
love
It's
that.
it's
No,
like
hey,
it's my fault, but at the same time, the levels lie, dude. The levels will lie and say
they
that we're
do.
even, and then it doesn't sound loud enough to you guys. So we genuinely have no clue what the levels sound like if they're balanced. So we do appreciate getting a heads up, if one of us sounds louder than the other. I know that levels will fluctuate throughout the podcast as we react to certain things. We might laugh, but just
'Cause sometimes
generally,
it sounds different if I'm going like this, and I'm just kind of
yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah. Neo sounds a bit quieter.
Do
Well,
I?
he can change that. I don't have to change the audio levels.
Oh well.
Your
Wait, I
voice
don't
just
know.
projects.
Okay.
I can just lean back a bit.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't even think you gotta lean back. I think I just gotta speak a little louder.
Yeah, he is louder by nature. So I always have to put him a little bit lower than me, but yet
My
last
bad,
episode
chat.
we had a significant difference for some reason. I don't know if like the computer reset the settings, but it was really quiet for like 20 minutes and I was like, "Oh dear." You can tell it's call audio lower bitrate. Oh yeah, because
What?
it's always like this because he's on Discord.
I really tried to change my filtering though. I thought it was gonna be better.
Oh. Well, Discord, I feel like even when I listen to like interviews on like bigger podcasts and they do it through Discord, it always sounds like that. It's just how it is.
Dang it. No, it's fine.
Sorry, we can't. I don't know how to do all that fancy schmancy because like there are YouTubers who like PewDiePie or Cinnamon Toast Ken, like they somehow have their other person, like their mics are hooked up straight into their software somehow. I don't know how
Yeah.
that works.
That is,
So yeah,
I don't
we're
know
not
what they're
there yet.
doing there. That's we're not there yet, technological wise.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Hey, our in-person podcasts sound crisp and clear and under
Yes.
control. And guess what? We'll have another in-person podcast very soon.
Yes,
So don't even worry about all that.
we
It'll
will.
be great.
We will.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, what were we talking about? Ariana Grande.
We were talking about the lovely, crisp, cold weather
Oh,
that we're
that's
be
right.
getting, and it's like a lot of people, and maybe it's because I don't drive. I think I'm a little ignorant. I'm an ignorant little pedestrian, right? And as a pedestrian, I like the snow, but even though people will be walking around, they don't like it either. I just love it. It's
Yeah,
so like
I
it's
get
the
that.
most beautiful thing nature can do. I
Mm-hmm.
just think it looks so nice. It's like it's a little cold, sure, but like you can't have a sunlight fight, can you? But no, you can have a snowball fight.
Sunlight fight.
Oh, I guess you can have a water gun fight.
I think it depends on the city because in the South, whenever we have those like ice storms where everything has to close down, the city is not equipped for to clear roads or anything like that. So when that happens, we can't work, we can't make money. We're stuck inside for a week. A lot of restaurants are closed for a week. So I think we take a huge hit whenever we have snow like that, or it's more
It's like a
so
little mini
ice.
COVID time.
It is, but like when you're you know, when you're an adult, it's not as fun because at some point you are missing out on money. And it's like I can't do
Yeah,
anything
it's
about
not
it.
like you don't get a rent break, you know.
No, you don't. So it like it really sucks in that regard. But if you're in somewhere like Canada where you guys are used to it, you have systems in place, then you guys can still function as a society and have the fun snow.
We over prepare, which I guess is
Yeah.
the best way to do it. But as a result, like, so what we do, we have these giant freaking salt trucks driving
Yeah.
around at all times. If it even says it's gonna, if they pretend it's gonna snow,
Mhm.
we have the whole fleet out just shooting
Yeah.
salt everywhere, ruining everyone's shoes.
Uh-huh.
And it's like the thing is with salt, it's not dog safe either. So it's like
No.
it kind of messes with their paw pads a little bit.
Mhm.
So even at work, we got to use like dog safe salt, but it's like I feel bad for them because they got to walk around everywhere, and this salt is everywhere.
I know.
It's funny because I have a friend who she really wants to. She's feeling nostalgic, and she wants to buy a pair of Uggs.
Mhm. Oh,
Now
Uggs are
Uggs,
awesome.
they're pretty cute. I like the design, very iconic design. Um, but I don't. If you've never experienced Canadian winter Uggs, they have a distinct white line around them from the salt.
Mm. Mhm.
And every day that white line rises because the salt just keeps seeping into it and spreading it. It's
Oh
like
yeah.
this is not the climate for Uggs. You cannot
The
wear
thing
Uggs
about
here.
Uggs is that like they are not really water resistant. So like
No.
they're good to keep your feet warm, but if they get wet, the material starts to kind of fray and
Yeah.
deteriorate, and so they end up looking dirty and like rough after a while. But they are
Yeah.
warm.
It definitely it's as a winter boot. They're not really a good winter boot. You
Mm-mm.
have to like it's a style. It's a style choice. The
It
Uggs
is.
icing. Yeah, that's it is what it looks like. It looks like it's like iced,
Well,
like a little cupcake.
they were really iconic in like 2013 where you would pair it with like Victoria's Secret pink sweatpants. It was like the Ariana Grande era where like she would wear Uggs and like Victoria's Secret sweatpants and little she would roll them at the waistband. She'd roll them down and then she'd wear like a black like cami top, like a tank top.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
that was the
a
look.
tank top really.
Yeah.
For us, it was different. We had like a big poofy jacket,
Mhm.
maybe some tights, and then the UGG boots, and it looked pretty good.
Well,
It
like
was
the
a
Uggs,
iconic look. It was kind of like the normie girl look,
uh-huh.
but it was iconic though. It was good.
It's what, yeah, it was definitely like popular when I was in high school.
Yeah,
And you wouldn't even wear them when it was like snowing outside. You would wear them just like when fall hit. You would start wearing them. So that explains like why she was wearing them because she lived in California. So like she didn't really need them, but they were just the fashion
yeah.
thing.
It was the style at the
It was. I
time.
miss honestly because like I get a lot of TikToks that like have collages of the those eras like 2013, 2014, both very different years. I feel like 2014 was like the the dark like Tumblr era where everyone listened to the 1975 and wore plaid like button-down shirts and skinny jeans and I was like I was at the right age cuz I was like 18. So
Yeah,
perfect age. I love Tumblr. I miss it.
I didn't really get too into it. I was busy going through my my hot topic like
Well,
aesthetic
that's kind of the
when
same
I
thing.
was in high school, right? I had the red and black like arm warmers. I had like
Yeah.
the chains. I had small fitting T-shirt
Mhm.
but big pants.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was the I had like this. I wouldn't be able to fit those shirts now. I'm too big now, but
I feel like
that was definitely the look.
I feel like your Tumblr profile would have looked so cool.
That was yeah. I managed to miss that era. I actually I wasn't too active on social media in high
Mhm.
school. I was the only one I really used was DeviantArt.
No
My
MySpace?
profile still exists, and didn't do MySpace. We did
Wow.
it was Facebook and DeviantArt for me,
Huh.
and DeviantArt was huge. That was basically where I made a lot of my early internet friends.
Mhm.
I'm still friends with some of them to this day.
Oh yeah.
This is back from like 2006, 2007, from that era, and I've made some lifelong dear friends, and I'm friends with them on Facebook as well.
Oh.
I don't use Facebook anymore. That's like that truly is just a piece of poop.
Yeah.
but I still have it up because it has like those, has the memories, it has the photos. I'm not willing to delete my Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an archive. I really should go down, and download all the photos I want,
Yeah, just in case like society collapse or something, you know.
or it gets hacked or something. Who knows?
Exactly, because that's likely to happen. You know, guys,
Oh, you know what my
I
other flaw was? Wait, really quick
what?
before we move on from that. My secret shame, just gonna get it out there. I was in high school, big into 4chan.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Big into 4chan. I would browse V every single day. I didn't participate. I wasn't toxic. I wasn't throwing out slurs or anything like that. My digital footprint is clean.
Mm-hmm.
The most thing you might find on me from my younger days is a "that's so gay" comment.
Yeah,
If you find that, hey,
man.
uh, that was a long time ago. High school was a long time ago. That was
Oh,
the popular phrase at the time. We've grown as a people since then.
yeah,
But
we've grown as a generation because
yeah,
like my digital footprint, I hate to say it, is not great.
not great.
Yeah, well, like my friend and I in middle school and high school, we had a vlog channel on YouTube. And
Is it still up?
I don't know.
I would love to see that. I would love to see
I
that.
I'll try to find it for you. Um Not something I want to share, honestly.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. My DeviantArt profile is still public.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody really wants to, they can find it.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I don't mind. I bring it up on stream sometimes. I openly embrace, like, hey, this was my cringe. Like, you will read these. Like, I have journal posts on there. You can read
Mm-hmm.
through.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, you're reading it. You're like, oh, oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Oh my
But it's
God.
honestly like, hey, I lean into it. I'm like, that is a fascinating part of my own history that I like
Mm-hmm.
to look back on and go, that what a funny little time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it is, looking back, it's like cool that we documented so much of our shenanigans. And honestly, like, our videos didn't do too bad, like, for that time in YouTube.
Yeah.
There was one specific video that got over 100,000 views.
Damn.
And we had, like, people commenting, like, for shout outs and stuff. It was crazy. But, yeah, there.
You guys in the chat, maybe not the super young ones, you may have seen a MaeMaeTown prototype video.
I hope not, because like there's just some things that like I look back and I'm like, damn, I wish that this was not out there because it just reflects badly on me. Just because the environment that I grew up in was very very Christian and conservative, and I feel like when you grew up that way, you you had certain beliefs that like you don't align with now,
Yeah.
certain judgments that you had about people who weren't Christian,
Yeah.
and that just kind of came through in the content at times, and I just like I look back, I'm just so ashamed of that. So it's like if
Yeah.
people find
Yeah.
it, like fine, whatever, but it's not something that I'm gonna be like, yeah, here's the channel, go watch it, guys, because like
I think a
not that I
majority of
care
people
about
are heavily
like
understanding.
I don't care about
Like,
being cringe. Like, I don't care about dancing to, like, because we made a lot of, like, music videos as you did back then. That's not what I'm like, oh, people are going to see that. It's the stuff where I'm clearly, like, a judgmental person,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know? So,
And it's like, I definitely carried a little bit of that, without the blatant racism and homophobia.
hmm
Um, Please understand, using the phrase "that's so gay" at the time wasn't a homophobic thing. It was like,
yeah.
it was basically that equivalent of "that's so dumb."
Yeah.
You're right. Which is obviously, I'm so glad that they've taken that word back.
And you
Yeah,
know who
hey,
started that? Who started the, like, dismantling of that was Hillary Duff.
listen, I love Hillary Duff. All right, her favorite game is Mario Sunshine, by the way.
What? I didn't know
Yeah, she
that.
has. Yeah, I had this little video interview on a VHS tape where she was talking about her favorite video game. She had a GameCube, and her favorite game was Mario Sunshine.
She's my icon, honestly. She's my music icon for sure. Her
She's
album
awesome.
Metamorphosis is like my That's like everything to me. But she did a video like way back when, where it was like a commercial, and there were some girls who were like, oh my God, that's so gay. And she walked up, she was like, hey, don't say that.
Yeah.
And it was like a PSA to like get kids to stop saying that.
Hey, I honestly, it's not as prominent anymore. That's awesome.
No, people don't really say that anymore. That
I
I've heard.
honestly, it even though like I definitely participated in that. And same with other things as well that I'm not, proud of saying. Definitely not like any racial slurs or anything like that. But
Hmm.
um, like you grow as a person, and I
Hmm.
think most people understand that. Like even if they were to find maybe old things that we've said, like I said, my digital footprint is fairly clean.
Hmm.
I think if people were to do a deep dive on like my DeviantArt, my old social profiles, they're not really going to find anything besides a whole lot of cringe.
Hmm. Hmm.
Maybe some early like maybe some art
Yeah.
that they're not supposed to see,
Yeah.
but whatever. All artists draw stuff they're not supposed to be drawing. But anyway,
We were all cringe back then. Like, I don't think
yeah,
there's a single person who's in our age group who wasn't cringe when they were 12 or 13,
yeah.
you know? Because, like,
Well, especially as like Sonic fans, like,
oh my God, don't even get me
hey,
started.
we're full of cringe. I'm literally wearing a stupid Sonic
Yeah.
the Hedgehog head on my like. That doesn't go away,
No, that
you
doesn't
know.
go away. When you're a Sonic fan, that's for life, baby.
That's for life, baby. I'm
Yeah.
sitting there in my place of work watching the Sonic 3 trailer, getting like chills and freaking
Goosebumps.
out, get like showing my coworkers who are so kind to pretend that they care.
I know.
They
Welcome to my
and
life.
I know they don't, but I'm gonna keep going anyway. I'm like, look, and then
Yeah,
it's
I
just
have
like I'm freaking out.
nobody in my physical space to talk about the Sonic movie 3 with.
Yeah.
Nobody. No one understands how I feel. Which, by the way, we are going to talk about the latest Sonic 3 trailer.
We will. I just want to say really quick
Yeah.
before we move on from this social media stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I, I was gonna correlate all of that back to I think some journal posts I have on my TV and are about how Sonic was revealed for Super Smash Bros. Brawl
Mm-hmm.
back in like 2000. What was that? 2008 or something like that. And it's just me gushing about how I was like crying when
Mm-hmm.
Sonic the Hedgehog was revealed for the first time in Super Smash Bros. And how big a deal that was.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels like now,
Mm-hmm.
watching the Sonic trailers, catching all the little references, the little music motifs, the little like every single thing about it, or like watching interviews with like Jim Carrey, Keanu Reeves, and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and just losing our minds about these things. And it's just like I truly have, I feel like I've become a better person. So I'm not saying the things I used to say as a kid,
Yeah.
but at my core, I'm the same person, and I'm crying over Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah. No, totally. I like I think I was introduced to Sonic when I was like 5 or 6 years old. My first introduction to Sonic was Sonic Adventure 2, which is like a crazy introduction to the franchise.
Oh yeah,
I wasn't conscious for any of the original games, so my first introduction was Shadow. So that you can tell that how I turned out. That explains a lot, right? But like Sonic Adventure 2 is arguably the most iconic moment in the Sonic franchise
oh by far, it's not even
before this
close to me.
movie, obviously, because I feel like this movie might take some of the cake, you know?
Well, I mean, it's based on Adventure 2, so that's fine.
So it's like kind of the same thing, but like Sonic Adventure 2 specifically was groundbreaking because of the soundtrack. I know Sonic Adventure had an amazing soundtrack as well. But Sonic Adventure 2 just had a little bit of extra flavor in it
It had
to
a
me.
little bit of extra something, something.
It had something in it, and I still to this day don't know exactly what it is, but it did. Shadow as a character was like an awakening for a lot of people, I think. And yeah, the
Yeah.
music was crazy. It was the first time that I was like, I like these songs. I'm going to sit down and memorize these songs. That was the
Yeah,
first time,
you know the Sonic Adventure 2 soundtrack way better than I
front to
do.
back.
Like I don't know it as well as you. You're like naming track names. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I can tell you that one of the
I'm
best
like, I don't
tracks.
know what you're saying, but
I can
yeah.
tell you one of the best tracks is "Let's Make It." Can you tell me what that one is?
What the hell is Let's wait, let me guess. Is it a is it a Rouge cutscene song?
No, not at all.
Okay, which one is it? What's
It's
the
the
Let's Make
very
It?
opening song when he's jumping out of the helicopter. Dun, 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 dun. Talk about a low budget
If you
flight.
ever
That part.
if you guys ever doubted
Da,
that
da, da,
MaeMaeTown
da,
on
da, da, da,
twitch.part
da. That
is
one.
a Sonic the Hedgehog fan, I want you all to take that back in your head right now. Yeah. This is a gun and we're
Like
gonna shoot
Shadow.
you.
What did Keanu say in the latest post? What was the line? Sonic
uh
is, what did he say?
oh frick, what the hell was it?
Sonic is no match for me, or something like that.
I think it was something like that, and he said it so like Keanu was
Oh
perfect
my
as
god, the
he's perfect
video.
as
Did
Shadow.
y'all see on Instagram they posted Keanu introducing him playing Shadow? Y'all gotta go to their Instagram.
Yeah. And it
Go.
shows Jim Carrey talking about Keanu. He's like,
Oh
"When
my
I heard Kit was gonna be
god.
Shadow," and Jim is gushing about
I
Keanu.
love
It's so cute.
Jim.
I
Dude,
love
so
Jim.
Jim Carrey is my favorite actor of all time since I was 5 years old. And so
Same.
for him to play Eggman, first of all, was insane to me. But
Yep.
for him to be so invested in the Sonic lore now is blowing my mind. Is I
I
couldn't have asked
didn't
for a
think I
better.
would. I could not have imagined as a 13-year-old boy knowing about Shadow the Hedgehog, ever like hearing Jim Carrey say Shadow the Hedgehog. That's
Yeah.
crazy to me
And
because
also
he was
like
also
explaining
my
his
favorite actor as well.
like explaining his complicated nature to the audience. Like, well, you see, Shadow has the ability to teleport, but is that going to be enough? Like he's so
God,
into it.
I just like I'm thinking about my child self, like
Mm,
seeing this happen because like Dumb and Dumber is one of my favorite movies of all time. That's a top 3 movie for me. Dumb and
yeah.
Dumber is hugely influential to like
Oh yeah.
how I view comedy and just like everything. Like the performance in the movie. I love Dumb and Dumber. That's my Jim Carrey movie of choice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I did a I did it. What did I do? It was in the 6th grade. I did a little. We had to perform like a biography piece. We had to pretend to be the person we did research on, and I did Jim Carrey. I bought like a Jim
Oh.
Carrey book. I pretended to be Jim Carrey for this class presentation, and I was like, "Oh God, The Mask, Liar, Liar, Dumb and
Dude.
Dumber, even his
Yeah.
more serious stuff, Eternal Sunshine, Spotless
Oh,
Mind, one of my favorite movies of all times. I
incredible.
am obsessed with that movie. I freaking love Jim Carrey.
He's my favorite like genuinely, he's my favorite um person that's not you. On this
Oh,
planet.
that's so
He's
sweet.
also a Capricorn like me, so I
Yeah.
just see so much of myself in
When's his
him.
birthday again?
Oh, I don't know. Can you look it up?
I'll look it up. Give me a
It's got to be
second.
before like the 15th or something. Um,
January 17th.
January 17th. Okay.
So 3 days before mine.
Wow. I love Jim Carrey. Liar Liar was my introduction to Jim Carrey. Like I
Which
watched.
is such a good intro.
Oh my
A lot of people
god.
were introduced with like something over the top, like Ace Ventura, which was also
Yeah.
good. I didn't watch that one a lot as a kid. I watched that one only a couple times, so I wouldn't be able to like quote
Mhm.
that one. I have seen them,
Yeah.
but I don't know them as well as some other people.
I
But
watched.
Liar Liar is like a up
Yeah.
there for me.
I can't remember if Liar Liar came after Ace Ventura. I think it did. I feel like Ace
Hmm.
Ventura was like closer to 1990.
That was like some of his earlier stuff.
Liar Liar came out. I think it came out the year I was born, but I didn't watch it for the first time till I was like 4 or 5 years old, which is crazy because it's not a kids movie.
I watched it as a kid too. I watched all these movies. Dumb and Dumber is not a kids
It's not a kids
movie.
movie, but it's like it's kind of like marketed like a kids movie.
Yeah. Oh, I have my I have it in arm's reach, of course I do. I got not only do I have Oh,
Wow, rest in peace, headphone users.
sorry, headphones users.
Headphones. Headphones.
I have my VHS copy of Dumb and Dumber
Oh
right here.
man,
Right,
classic.
friggin' love this man. I've watched this so many times. It's in perfect condition still.
Mm-hmm.
Well loved, and I also have the soundtrack for the movie.
You do? That's amazing.
Oh, this soundtrack is incredible.
my dad loves the Flower Girl song. He's like, that always
Oh,
reminds me of
great.
you.
That's a great song too.
Yeah.
This whole soundtrack, I actually genuinely love it. I used to listen to this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, while we're on theme, of course, I do have my VHS copy of The Matrix as well.
Oh, and then
So,
okay, in the Instagram post today too, Jim was like, if you haven't seen it, if you have, I'm sorry, it's gonna be really cringe. But he was like, when Keanu Reeves said he wanted to play Shadow, I was like, okay, whatever. And then I was like, he did this.
oh,
He
he
did
did the
he did the
thing.
Matrix move. I was
The
like, dude,
Neo like hand.
we are eating.
Yeah.
Forget Thanksgiving
So,
dinner. We are eating when we see Sonic 3.
oh, we are. Oh my
I know
goodness.
that I had some things to say about the stupid Jelly Roll song that they said they did, but after these like past couple marketing things, I'm so excited and I don't have many doubts. No, I
When
don't.
Gummy Bear came out with that
Gummy bear.
song for Sonic 3, I listened. I'm sure he's a great guy. I don't know him. Maybe the song will grow on me.
I don't
I'm
know.
I'm gonna stay open to the idea that the song might grow on me. It's not right now. It's not my personal taste,
I think
but
okay. Also, hello cutting class. The Sonic trailer looks
cutting
so good,
class,
right?
hello.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
exactly
it
what we're
looked
talking
incredible.
about. If you haven't seen the most recent Sonic 3 trailer, and if you're listening in the future, watching in the future, stop this and go watch it. Or even if you're watching live, go watch it. Don't care. It is incredible. There are so many Sonic Adventure 2 Easter eggs, including, and there's some Discord going on around right now, that there either is or isn't an orchestral arrangement of his world in the background. Some people are saying, no, it's not. I would say
I
100%
do.
yes.
I'm kind of leaning no. I want it to be his world.
It's like
Now this is
too
gonna be for the
close.
casual listeners who aren't like Sonic fans. Like, what is he talking about? There's a amazing song from one of the games called His World. Go
His
listen
world,
to it. It's
yeah.
fantastic. One of the best vocal themes I think
Mm-hmm.
in the Sonic series. But yeah, they have a little background. It's definitely like an homage to it, but it doesn't ever do like the lower part of the song.
I
It
think
just
it's
does that
for.
first like four notes. Now I'm not a music person, so like music people in the chat like cutting class, I don't
Well,
know the exact lingo for it, but it goes do 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 do
I
do,
would
and it
say it's
never does
close
the
enough.
it does that part. That part's in the trailer, but it never does the do 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 do. It never does the drop. So I'm like, I don't know. This could just be generic movie orchestra
I
stuff
don't
that
for
you'd hear
Sonic.
in
I
like a
don't think
Marvel.
so.
I understand. Like I think it could be a reference, but I didn't hear the full thing. I want to hear the full track. And now I will pop off, but also like thematically, I don't think it fits for a Sonic Adventure 2 based movie because his world has nothing to do with it.
I know, but like, it feels like way too similar for it not to be. And why would they? They've never had like a. I think you call it like a motif. I've never heard that kind of a motif in any of the Sonic trailers before. That sounds
Yeah.
so. I mean, like, there's so many people that are like, oh my God, was that his world? And I feel like if enough people think it is, it's like, I think it is. But like, I've also heard that there's some copyright stuff, maybe with the band, like maybe with the artist, kind of like they own part of it.
Yeah, who is because they have three versions
Right.
of his world that all came out at the exact same time, and I don't know who because Crush 40 did one, Zebrahead did another one, and I
Mm-hmm.
can't remember the third group who did it. But three people did it, and it all released at the same time, so I actually don't know who owns it.
Yeah, yeah, and maybe that's part of the reason why they can't finish the melody because like if they do, then there's like yellow tape that they have to go through. But
Yeah,
um,
it's with another Sonic vocal theme, Endless Possibility, which
yeah,
is that is my favorite
it's
Sonic
so
vocal theme.
good.
I love Endless
Mm-hmm.
Possibility. It's from Sonic Unleashed, and that was performed by Jarrett Riddick,
Mm-hmm.
who's in Bowling for Soup. So it's like anytime you outsource the music to someone else who's not Crush 40
Yeah.
or Sonic based, I feel like they kind of put tape around themselves because that's the only Sonic vocal theme that isn't on Spotify,
Right.
and that's a darn shame. That's a very very sad bit of news
I
because I
know.
love that song. So
Yeah.
um, yeah,
Copyright's really weird. Like, it's like you would think, like, okay, it's Sega partially making the movie. You would think that, like, anything that has to do with Sonic, they can just willy nilly use it. They don't have to go
yeah,
through anybody. But I guess when you, like, when you have another, like, an artist that is legally protected, like Crush 40 or
yeah,
whoever has performed his world, you have to go through their label or whatever. I don't really know, but I think
yeah.
that could be why. But God, it sounds way too close.
I will give you that. Like it's very definitely an homage
It
to it.
sounds great,
Um, will it
regardless.
be in the movie? I don't know if it'll be in the movie. I hope it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes these trailers be having just music for the trailer and they
Right.
don't actually have that in the movie. So that's
Yeah.
possible that might happen as well. I hope they fully commit to that. But
I hope so too, because it's so
yeah, I
good.
guess it's so good. Well, I guess we'll just have to see. That movie comes out December 20th. We
December
already got
20th.
our tickets, like we mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
We bought basically a whole row in that theater. It costs a little bit over 200
Yeah.
to
But
get
you,
every
you know,
ticket we needed.
but you did receive payment from people,
Of course,
so
yeah. No, everybody came through right away, which is awesome.
yeah.
But like I've never spent that bulk amount on movie tickets
Me
before, so
neither.
that was it was kind of exciting though. It was like, oh, we're
We're
ready. It felt like an
going.
event.
We're
We're
going.
going, we're going.
I'm
So,
so excited. Yeah, it's so worth it, right? But yeah,
are we dressing
Keanu.
up?
I'm dressing up. I'm doing something low key. I've been looking on Amazon. I think I'm gonna do like a just like a because it'll be cold. We'll be in
This is gonna
Canada.
be my look. This is gonna be my look.
You should. I honestly think that people will be
How
dressing
sick
up.
would that be though?
Neo. I think that people will be
That's what I'm
dressing up.
saying. I could go as Neo.
Yeah.
It'd be
I'm
perfect.
I'm thinking like a red puffer jacket, black pants, a black
Okay.
turtleneck bodysuit. That's kind of the vibe I'm going for right now. Just like a shadow cosplay. Like no,
I should
a
probably
shadow bound.
do
Shadow bound.
A Sonic themed one, huh?
Well, I mean, you could do Shadow too. I'm just thinking like this is his movie. Like
Mm.
I want to pay homage to the Edge Lord.
So I'm currently, and I might do this. I don't know if I would have time before the movie. It would cut it close, but I kind of want to do it. I'm currently customizing a set of Converse
Mm-hmm.
for a friend's birthday gift, and this friend doesn't really have any online presence. They won't see
Yeah.
this. So yeah, he should see this.
Watch this be the
So
time that he actually tunes in.
I don't think he will. I don't think he will. He doesn't. I don't even think he knows what Twitch.fart is.
Yeah. Does he even have an account?
No,
Mm.
no. And if you're watching this and you think these shoes are for you, they're not.
They're from me.
Yeah, I'm making a set of custom Converse for MaeMaeTown
Yeah.
that are Shadow the Hedgehog based, and they're gonna be really cool.
Yeah.
I've been prepping all the stuff for it, made stencils for the little Shadow the Hedgehog logo, and I'm just thinking, why don't I make a Sonic pair for myself?
Hey, yeah.
Why don't I make one of those? Because like, I feel like Converse are easy. They're already canvas.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're ready for painting. So I want to just make Sonic themed shoes.
Do it so then you guys can match.
That'd be sick.
That would be really cool. I think you should try to do that if you can do it in time.
I think on the side I would have like the ring, you know?
That would be cool. You could do a ring
That'd be really
around
cool.
the Converse logo, like a yellow ring.
I thought so. Apparently, frig Converse because the little Converse logo is on the inside of the shoe.
What if you do two, one on the logo and then one on the other side? You just have
I can
two.
do it on both sides. Yeah.
Yeah, be
But I
cool.
was kind of like, damn, really? Like I wanted it on the outside. I thought that would look way cooler.
Gus says thanks for the thanks for the shoes, big dog. US 9.5. Thanks again, Chief.
They
Nine
are
and a half.
literally a US. They are a US 9.5.
That's crazy.
Gus,
Oh,
you
you
spoiled
spoiled
it,
it.
babe. I was making you shadow shoes.
Shadow shoes. You might be able to start a
Oh,
business if they turn out, you know.
if I listen, I'm actually buying like the proper stuff for it too.
Oh
I'm like
yeah.
fully getting into it. I was just originally I had like these acrylic paint markers.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna use those mixed with a couple other things, and I started looking more deep into it, and I'm like getting the professional stuff that people are using
Yeah.
stencils. Like I'm really going full into this. This might become a hobby of mine.
Hey, I mean,
I don't know.
yeah, if it works out, then you have all the things that you need to do it professionally. So, and I know you're capable of designing it well. So, like, I'm not, doubting you at all.
I really I've had a lot of people lately, like a lot lately has been an influx of people being super encouraging about my
Yeah.
art, and it's like honestly been the sweetest thing, and very very motivating. So I no I like genuinely do appreciate that. I've been having people tell me I should do artist alley at conventions. I had a
Absolutely.
very I had Spielerman. We've been mentioning Spielerman a lot. For those who don't know Spielerman, amazing streamer.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, does a lot of Sonic focused content despite not being the biggest Sonic fan, but he has a great time doing it.
Yeah.
And just a lovely individual. But yeah, he said just some very kind words to me yesterday about. He's like, I really think you would do like incredibly well at the artist alleys,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, um, you'd be a fresh person on the scene. A
Yeah.
lot of the artists there. There's a lot of incredible local artists. Toronto is full of talented individuals, and just like all the people who come there in general. But we get a lot of the same artists. So, as an unfortunate thing of being artists, you can't work fast enough to have new stock every single time. So you
Well,
do see a lot of the same stuff. Usually, I'll buy everything I want the time I see them. So next time I see them, I'm like, well, hey, love your stuff. I do already have it all, but
that's
keep
okay
going.
though, because you're always going to meet new people that haven't seen your stuff. And like, how
Yeah,
often are you going to do these artist alleys, you know?
yeah,
I
exactly.
feel like you'd have time to make new stuff in between.
I think you're correct. I think yeah, I don't know. I've been, like I said, I've been getting a lot of encouraging messages from you,
Yeah.
from my in real life friends as well,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that might be my direction. I think I'm gonna start leaning more into art stuff, because I've been feeling pretty confident with it lately.
I think you should, because like you're way too talented to not like, I don't know, not like, oh, you should make money off of this. Just turn it into a cash cow. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like your art is
I am saying
worth.
that.
I am saying that. I'm saying your art is worth being paid for. Like Neo has done all of my channel art, all of my emotes, my profile picture. So just look at that and you can see how talented he is. He does all of obviously his channel art, his VTubers. He did a VTuber for me, a couple VTubers for me actually.
Everybody is the kindest people, and
Well,
honestly,
it's
I'm
just
just thankful
true.
for, hey, like I'm not necessarily doing it for the compliments, but it doesn't hurt everyone. Hey, it doesn't.
I
Hey,
know it's
the
encouraging.
encouragement. Sometimes you need that little boost.
Yeah, everybody does.
And
But
I appreciate it a lot.
yeah, I think that you should absolutely try to, you know, make a handful of things that you'd feel comfortable selling at a booth, like
Yeah,
stickers, bumper stickers, stuff like that. So
yeah. I think I'll do something like that. That'd be good.
Gus said, "Did you write how much he loves Latinas on the shadow shoes?"
Uh, he is a Spanish man,
He
so
is.
it'll be on his. It'll be on
Oh,
his
Brick! I thought you meant
page.
Shadow. I was like, is that canon? Is he from
Yeah, I'm
Spain?
making these for my Spanish friends, so I think it's canonical that these shadow shoes belong to him.
I was like, man, maybe I'm not as big of a fan as I thought I was. Jeez.
Shadow Age, the Spanish man? No.
Shadow is Hispanic, so
Yeah, he just loves his he loves Latinas.
he
Hey,
does. And honestly,
yeah.
who can blame him?
Hey, go off,
He's
Shadow.
so right for that. But no, I'm so excited about the movie, and yeah, this most recent trailer like had so many Easter eggs from Sonic Adventure 2, and like, oh gosh, just the like, well, first of all, Shadow is gonna have a gun in this movie,
Right?
which is huge. That's the Shadow the Hedgehog game reference. He's on a
He
bike.
has the bike and the gun. Like that's all from
The
that
gun made me lose my
cheesy
shit.
ass game. Like,
The gun, there is a lot of hinting at them going supersonic, super shadow,
That
towards the end
hasn't
of the
been
film.
revealed yet, but like they gotta because Sonic already went supersonic in the second movie.
There's shots where there's two streams of yellow light going towards the laser, the egg thing.
I haven't seen that, but I don't know.
I've seen it.
Hey, there's a lot of hidden scenes that I didn't see.
I've been on Twitter. So I've seen like all kinds of like slowed down shots, and there's
There's a
a
lot.
lot of references. Yeah.
We're gonna be doing a Sonic the Hedgehog 2 watch party in the
Mm-hmm.
Discord very soon.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody who missed that movie, hey, you wanna come over to Twitch, join the Discord. There's a lot of benefits to watching this live. That's
I've
all I'm
only
saying.
seen it
So
once in theaters. I didn't see it more than one time, so it'll be a second time watching
I'm
for
not gonna
me.
tell the whole story since I've done it several times, but
Is that
I
where you
saw
broke your tooth?
I broke my tooth. I watched Sonic 2. First of all, that movie's cursed for me because I wasn't able to see that on opening night. I had to watch that a week later because I got COVID when it came out.
Uh-huh.
That was the first time. I think that was the only time I ever got COVID. Was right when
Wow.
Sonic 2 came out, and then the second time I went to go see it, I shattered my tooth 2 seconds into the movie. So hey, let's lose an arm when Sonic 3 comes out.
Hey, don't say that.
I like to overly jinx things.
Nothing is gonna
I'm
happen.
hoping I lose. I hope I lose all my front teeth.
Please don't say that. We are gonna have a good time. Everything's gonna go as planned, and it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I don't want to go in with that expectations because if I break my teeth, I'm like, yeah, see, look there, and then it's a funny story. But if I go in, hey, everything's gonna be perfect, and then I break my tooth, it's like, no,
Yeah,
no,
well,
I broke my tooth.
you do like to do that. You like to set up like horrible scenarios so that they don't happen.
And then they don't happen.
I guess so.
It works every time.
I guess.
You know, when we went to Whole Foods and you broke your tooth on a Whole Foods piece of chicken,
Yep.
chicken tendy,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't set that up. We forgot. We should have said, we're gonna break our teeth on this.
I went in thinking we're gonna have a good ass meal, and two bites in, I shattered my molar on a
There you
chicken
go.
tender.
See? My strategy works, chat. Just be like, if you go in expecting the worst, hey, you'll be fine.
Sure.
Is that good advice?
Yeah.
I think it's bad
Yeah.
advice.
Totally.
Yeah, definitely bad advice.
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the worst advice you can give.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Totally.
That's actually so sick that you'd give that bad advice.
That's so sick that you would say that.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Um. Oh God, I'm so excited for this movie. You have no idea. Like I'm gonna. I know I'm gonna cry.
I'm gonna cry multiple times.
I'm gonna cry. I like.
I'm not a movie crier. I'm not.
I am.
I'm a Sonic crier though. I'm a Sonic crier. The last time I cried, I just don't generally cry at media. The last time I cried, I think that I can remember, was the ending of Sonic Frontiers.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do it on stream, but if I did, I would have cried on stream. But that was such a gorgeous ending, and it was beautiful. It was sad. It was powerful.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great game.
It's a very good game.
And I love the tone that they went with that game. And I think, if Sonic's going in this direction, we're getting Shadow the Hedgehog. They're taking it more seriously. Jim Carrey's hyped about the movie. We are in the Sonic era right now.
We really are. I mean, like, and we've talked about this. I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast before, but we definitely have, just outside of streaming. But I feel as though like we have grown up with the Sonic characters and they have grown up with us at the same time. Just if you look at like the style of games that have come out in the last like 5 to 10 years, how all the Sonic media has kind of taken an edgier tone, a darker tone. The way that the characters speak is much darker and lower register. Like Sonic Frontiers was like, I think the first like big, like, oh, like this is a darker game and all the characters are feeling somber as hell.
Oh yeah, and it comes across so much in their performance.
Yeah, like Amy.
I think we talked about this in the last.
Did we talk about it in the last one? I think we talked about it like a long time ago.
Did we? I feel like we recently taled about their like amazing performance. It might have just been in a call. Actually.
Yeah, because we do the podcast just outside of the podcast all the time.
I honestly mix up what we talk about on here and what we don't because we just be doing this every single night.
Yeah, But no, like Amy's performance in that game was, or the voice actress's performance, I should say, was so like shockingly deep. Like her
Yeah.
voice,
Same
literally
with
her
Sonic.
voice was
Same with
deep.
Roger Craig Smith.
Yeah, Roger does an
Yeah.
amazing job playing Sonic. I love Ben's version because it has that sort of like youthful energy that Sonic has always had.
Oh yeah, from
Um,
the movie Sonic, right? Yeah,
yeah,
he's got kind of like an annoying thing about him, but in a cute way.
it's like that kind of OG Sonic vibe where he's like,
Yeah, where he's like, "I'm fast, I have attitude, silly."
yeah,
Right.
and he's,
Right. Yeah.
like on Fortnite every day. Like that
Yeah.
kind of vibe. But he does
He really
get
feels like a kid.
serious. He does get serious in the movies at certain points when it's time to
He has
get
his
serious.
moments. Yeah.
There is one part of the trailer that people are like, "Ugh, why did he say that?" It's the part where they're in the Chow Garden, which like there's a Chow
Oh,
part of the movie.
what? Okay, first of all, I want to say classic Sonic line.
Oh my god. He says
Sonic is
konnichiwa?
He is the most racist piece of garbage.
Didn't I say when I was playing Sonic Colors, I was like, imagine Sonic ordering at a Mexican restaurant. I'll wait.
It's so funny because you played that really before I knew you at all, or before I
Yeah.
discovered your streams, and it was funny because I had just done a playthrough of Sonic Colors around the same time. I was playing it with my friend Brick, who I'm making the shoes for, and
No. Hola. Yeah, exactly.
well, they go to this like underwater like level that has like some Japanese theming to it, and Sonic's like, this makes me want some sushi." You know?
My god, he's so racist.
What the hell up? What are you doing?
He's so racist.
You see fish at like a Japanese themed house, and you're like, sushi. Racist as hell.
Oh my god. It's so true though, right? Like think about it. Even if you're the biggest Sonic fan in the world, which I consider myself to be a massive Sonic fan, I can admit when like, characters have flaws, and I think that's one of his flaws is that he is very insensitive when it comes to other cultures.
Oh yeah, when I saw him say konnichiwa,
Konnichiwa?
all I said was, "Yep."
I saw a streamer reacting to that and he was like, "Oh yeah, Sonic 3." And then it got to that part and he was like, "Shut up.
Shut up, Sonic.
Stop talking."
Stupid.
So stupid. Yeah. Like, see, that's the thing about these movies, though, is that there's always, like, they always have to have him say something that, like, an 11-year-old would think is funny.
Yeah, or like flossing multiple times
Yep.
in the same movie. He flossed twice in Sonic 1. But it's like, you know what? Sure. Honestly, I wasn't even mad at it because I'm like, listen, this is to appeal to the kids,
It's the
right?
first movie. They don't know what's going on, right?
Yeah. So I'm like, and I know this is a different depiction of Sonic as a character,
Yeah.
right? He is literally a child.
Yeah.
He's just discovering human stuff. He's probably getting the same interest as human kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was around the baseball diamond because he knows the human kids love baseballs.
Mm-hmm.
And then, he's probably playing Fortnite as well.
Probably, yeah. I can assume they would be able to afford. Isn't Fortnite free?
It's free.
I feel like Tom definitely has, like, an Xbox.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, you can
PlayStation
play that
5.
on a phone, right? You can play Fortnite
Yeah.
on any.
So I, like, give them grace because they do have to appeal to children. This is rated PG, which, like, I understand why it's rated PG, but also I know a lot of people are hoping it would be a PG-13.
I don't know how it's PG. Okay, first of all, a couple things. Watching the trailers, I don't know how it's PG.
I know.
Because they already show. Now, this is slight spoilers for. Listen, the movie isn't out yet. We haven't seen the movie. We're basing this off of Sonic Adventure 2 knowledge, which is a 20-plus-year-old game.
Yeah.
So, from what I'm seeing from the trailers, I'm seeing Gerald and Shadow holding a dead Maria in their hands. So, like, first of all, little kid dies. Second of all, in the trailer, Shadow's holding a gun. I'm like, I feel like multiple, like, there's gun violence and dead children. How is this PG?
Yeah, I think they probably...
Oh, and racist theming as well.
Yeah, racism is another one.
So
I feel like
I
they...
feel like it's PG-13.
They just probably skirted around like the rating system where there's no cursing, which is kind of sad about that.
I wanted one just
damn
not here.
Yeah, and maybe that's allowed. Maybe one is allowed.
Maybe they're allowed one because they have. I I remember the original Ninja Turtles movie, the TMNT, that came out in the '80s. There's this one iconic scene where Raphael, like he gets frigged up by
Mm-hmm.
Casey Jones, and he's in the park, and it zooms out to show the whole city, and he just yells, "Damn!" And all the kids are like, "Wow, can he say that? That's crazy."
Well, when we were
We
kids,
don't do
like
that.
with most of the networks, like Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, not Disney so much, but actually maybe there were some Disney Channel original movies from like the 90s and early 2000s where like people would say like what the hell? What the hell are you doing? They say in Once Upon a Time they say like what the hell?
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
true.
like I think certain curse words are allowed and they have been allowed for a really long time in
I feel
kids
like they're allowed like
media.
certain amounts of them.
Yeah,
Like
but
you're allowed one damn. For certain TV shows, you're allowed one f bomb. You know.
yeah, well, I don't know about the F bomb, but definitely hell and damn I think are allowed.
Well, watching we always talk about Walking Dead. Watching The Walking Dead in the last two seasons, or maybe even just the last season, they were allowed to drop f bombs. It was
Oh, yeah,
very jarring because Daryl's the first one to do it, and I was
which
like, "Are
slay.
they allowed to say that?" I'm like, "That's crazy," because we've been watching the show for a near decade and they have not
Hmm.
said that a single time, and now they're saying it like every episode. I'm like, "That's
I
crazy."
think that like certain shows, like The Walking Dead, they get to a point in success where the network is like, okay, you guys have obviously made us a lot of money. If you feel that it's appropriate for the script to, for the character to express this, then okay, you get one per episode or two per season or something like that. I think
Yeah,
they made them so much money that by the end of it, they're like, okay, yeah, sure,
do whatever you want.
do
Yeah,
whatever you want. Because like at that point too, I think the networks had started loosening up because streaming was starting to become a thing, and I think they were feeling it was like a competitive, industry.
yeah.
So maybe they were just like, okay, let's loosen things up a little bit. Get a little crazy.
We're on our last season, so
Who
who
cares? Take your
cares?
tops off.
Yeah, everybody take off your.
Take your clothes off. And Noodle says
Wow.
they said hell and damn in The Incredibles. Yeah, I do remember like some Disney movies like they cussed, and I remember like because I watched some of them in my late 20s, and I'm like, wow, I didn't remember that they said all this in like these
Yeah,
cartoons or whatever.
watching a
Um,
lot of like early 2000s anime that I grew up with that would air on our like TV network
mhm,
for I guess kids, right? Um, like it would play on YTV, which is like our main channel. That was
mhm.
basically like Cartoon Network for you guys, and YTV stands for youth television, which a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it would play at like night, like it would play at like 8 p.m., but like it would be on this network. And I remember watching Inuyasha, and just like it was such a big moment for me because they were dropping all kinds of words,
Mhm.
the classic hell, damn. But I remember Inuyasha would be like, "Oh, that bastard,"
Yeah,
right? And I'll
Bastard
be
was
like,
another one.
"Whoa, that's a big one." It was mainly just those three, but still, that was huge. So I feel like
Mhm.
those are certain words you can get away with.
I remember it's just reminded me of a funny moment from childhood where because there was the Grinch game that was on PlayStation 2. I think it was really bad. It was really bad.
Didn't you
But
stream that one?
no, not that one specifically. They played it on Game Grumps with Dan Harmon though, and that's like one of my favorite Game Grumps episodes. It's so
Okay.
funny, but it's like the Mike Myers, like, no, sorry, not the Grinch, the Cat in the Hat.
Oh, got it.
It was the Cat in
Easy
the Hat
mistake.
game. It was on like PlayStation 1 or 2, really old, and I was probably like 8 or 9 at the time when it was out, and my cousin, who's a huge gamer, she was playing it, and my other cousin, who's her brother, was a little bit younger than me, and so we obviously spent like a lot of time together. And I remember we were watching her play this game, and there was one part in that game where he says, I came, I saw, I kicked some and then he like says something else. I remember we ran upstairs and told on her. We were like, she's playing this game, and he said, I came, I saw, I kicked some ass. And my aunt was like, what? Because she just would
Okay, but
buy, she would buy all kinds of games for her, so like she didn't know.
Okay, but the Cat in the Hat movie was way
Oh,
worse though.
way worse, but it was so funny.
I love that movie. First of all,
That's peak.
people dismiss that movie because it looks like a nightmare, and
It's
that's true.
horrifying. Yeah, that's
It's
the point.
horrifying, but it's actually so friggin' funny.
So fun. I still quote it to this day. It's so funny.
Oh, same.
Fun,
All
fun,
right, Devin.
fun.
Time to die.
Time to die. The kitchen scene with the cooking show. Oh my god.
You're not just wrong, you're stupid.
And you're ugly, just like your mom. Did you just call my mother ugly?
Oh my god, that's the best movie. I remember me and my cousin, we would just rewind that whole kitchen scene. We watched that over and over.
Mm-hmm.
Just constantly rewinding that part. We were losing our minds. That's so iconic.
That's impossible.
You're not just
what is
wrong,
it?
you're stupid.
I'll get you. I'll make it look like a bloody accident. That's my favorite part. And he's just like,
Your
cat,
tail.
your tail.
Oh, I
Oh,
see. You chopped it off.
well, that's interesting because, and then he says, son of a bitch. And the cat's hanging there, baby.
Oh my god.
That's
We
my
gotta watch that.
favorite. We should watch that in Discord.
Let's watch that in Discord.
Fun,
We'll watch Sonic
fun,
and watch Cat in the
fun.
Hat.
Remember the part when he gets kicked in the nuts?
Yeah.
And he
Remember
goes,
when he-
easy on Sunday morning. And he's on the swing. Ah.
I like when he calls the he's like dirty hoe.
I'm sorry, baby. I love you.
Oh, what a movie.
I could literally
People-
quote that movie from start to finish. We could just
I
do a
think
whole
I can
podcast
too.
episode where we just do that.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, we'll watch that. We'll watch Grinch
Yes.
and Sonic 2. I think
Grinch.
that's the next movies.
Wow, December is gonna be great.
We got to do it soon because you're gonna be here like halfway through December. So this is gonna be the next couple weeks. We're gonna be doing this.
Okay. Well, so we need to do it when we're not together. Oh wait, because some of them,
It's Discord.
right? Some of them might only be available here, so we gotta make sure that
Well, that too, but we also don't know how to do a Discord watch party while we're in the same room.
True. Okay.
Successfully.
Okay, so then yes, we will be watching those movies in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
also,
we can try, but
also on Thanksgiving, which is literally like less than 2 days from now, I'd like to stream Twilight because Twilight just had its like 16th anniversary.
I don't want to hear 16th.
16 years ago, Twilight came out in theaters.
I've become painfully aware of my own mortality.
I know, which ironically, so did
Yeah.
Bella.
I've been 48 for a long time.
Yeah, me too. It is scary to hear those numbers. I'm like, no, I was just in the theater like yesterday.
Put those numbers away. Get those numbers. Put those numbers. Why'd you bring the numbers here?
I don't know about anybody else out there, but I am a huge Twilight stan. I love that franchise so much. It has some of the best music of any movie franchise ever. The soundtracks are incredible. The way that they like compiled all of the songs, like all the different artists. They had Paramore on the first album, like especially Breaking Dawn. Breaking Dawn Part 2, I think, has an incredible soundtrack because also there's a lot of like redone versions of songs from like the first movie, like the Flightless Bird American Mouth. They have like a wedding version of that that's so beautiful, and then the Christina Perri song that they play in the credits is so beautiful. Have you seen the last like 2 movies?
No.
Okay, so we need to fix that.
We'll watch them.
Okay.
I mean, hey, we watched through all the Hunger Games last time. Let's do this.
We
one. Why not?
did. The Hunger Games is so good.
Yeah, I'm down, and I think you know why I liked Twilight so much when I was in high school. I wasn't like a
Because you're
super fan.
indigenous.
Yeah, first of all, Team Jacob, let's go.
Because
Let's
you're
talk
a
about-
werewolf.
Yeah, because I'm a werewolf. But you know, I feel like Bella's racist, so we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah, we'll do a whole episode just about that.
What was that line she said in the last movie? She said "Konnichiwa."
Konnichiwa?
Remember when she said that? Oh my
Yeah.
God, Bella,
I could
stop.
do a whole, and maybe, guys, maybe I should start doing solo episodes of just like one thing, like just about Twilight. I have things that I could do like a whole hour about,
Oh, easy,
like
easy.
people I watched on YouTube. Like I've been really getting back into my OG beauty YouTuber videos, like falling
I will
asleep
say it's
to
crazy
that.
that I'm getting fired live on camera right now. That's
What?
actually kind of crazy.
That's not what I
I really
said.
should. I really should do solo episodes.
No,
Yeah, you know
yeah,
what?
yeah, no,
Actually,
Jen.
hey, tune in next week while it's just me and myself
Yeah.
talking about.
Well, there's like certain things that like, I could go off on a tangent about that you know nothing about, and I feel bad like you sitting there for like an hour just like listening to me. I think it could be like
Listen,
a bonus episode where I like pull up, references
don't feel
and
bad. I like you talking about whatever.
okay.
I just like when you're excited about stuff.
Oh yeah, and I do. I get very excited about
Yeah,
random things. But I think that'd
so
be
that's all
fun.
good to me.
It'd be fun to do like dedicated episodes to like all about the Twilight franchise, and we can pull interviews and, listen to some of the songs that were iconic. You know what I mean? Just like kind of going into a time machine and like revisiting things that were iconic for our generation, like Twilight, Hunger
Oh,
Games.
I was gonna say about Twilight was, I think the reason why I like Twilight so much is okay. First of all, those movies are stupid, and I like that.
Yeah, that's why they're great.
That's why they're great. I love how campy they are. Listen, once again, I'm a Sonic the Hedgehog fan, so when you get
Yeah.
edgy ass Edward Cullen being
Mm.
like, "I'm a vampire," I'm like,
Say
yeah,
it.
that does it for me. I love that. It's very campy, very
Which
cheesy.
also
I don't.
we've said that Robert Pattinson would have been another. He was honestly my draft pick for Shadow the Hedgehog. I love Keanu. I think he's doing an incredible job, but I always dreamed about Edward Cullen voicing Shadow the Hedgehog. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
Anyways.
yeah. I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, so I mean, like, I think that's why it like kind of hit. Like, I wasn't like a diehard, but I did watch the first and second one in
Mm-hmm.
theaters
Mm-hmm.
when they came out, and I had a great time.
Yeah.
Great time. And it's just like, yeah, I think it's because there was that cheesiness, that over the top edginess. I
Yeah.
love that stuff, and that's why I love Shadow the Hedgehog, and that's why Robert Pattinson and Shadow the Hedgehog
Mm-hmm.
are so adjacent in my mind, because they both have that same cheesy edge that was reminiscent of those early 2000s.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, the thing about the first Twilight movie, the reason why it is so like bizarre and it's so campy is because it was supposed to be an indie film.
Oh, really?
It was produced and shot to be an indie film, to go to like film festivals and stuff like that. And then
Okay.
it blew up. And so after it blew up, they were like, okay, I guess we have this huge budget now. And so you can tell a significant difference between Twilight and New Moon. It's like, it's crystal clear. Like the coloring is completely different. That's why like it feels
I
warmer.
I kind of like the graininess of the original though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like the first movie is such a vibe because of the color. It's that blue tone. It's rainy. Like it is the best fall movie to watch. But the whole franchise is just it's such a ride and it's so incredible.
Yeah.
And I also it's so interesting. The original director did not direct the rest of the movies, which I thought was weird.
Hmm.
But I feel like back then too with the franchises, they would have a different director for each movie, like the Hunger Games, Harry Potter. They always had a new director, and so every movie was created differently. Which is that's an interesting choice, but I always
Yeah.
wondered why that was why they didn't have the same guy for or girl for all 4 or 5 movies.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting.
Interesting,
I
yeah.
don't really know.
Um,
Um, JT says it's crazy that people nowadays are just shooting entire indie
mm-hmm,
films with iPhones. Hey,
totally.
listen, I recently upgraded. I've only had an iPhone. My first iPhone, which is kind of a lie. I had an iPhone 5 for a brief moment. Didn't really use it that much though.
Mm-hmm.
But this is my first actual iPhone for me, um, that I've only had for just over a year. And let me tell you, the difference in camera quality
Mm-hmm.
is unmatched. It's actually crazy. Like, I was an Android boy. still like Android for a lot of reasons. Like a lot of Android does have a lot of really good things about it that I do miss.
Mm-hmm.
And iPhone is a little bit restricting in certain ways. I have it because it fits better with the accessories I have. It links up better with iPad seamlessly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a big art guy, so I do a lot of iPad stuff. Right, that's
Yeah.
my primary art medium. So I'm like, it makes sense that I have an iPhone. But like a fortunate side effect of that has been I have the best camera in the world
Mm-hmm.
now.
I mean, we're both
And
using our iPhones for stream right now.
exactly. And this is not even the highest quality it gets because right now we're just streaming through a website, so there's still like,
Yeah.
you know, latency
Mm-hmm.
and streaming quality and all that stuff. So even with all of that, we look incredible. I get a lot of
Yeah.
compliments on this camera. I use my phone for all streaming purposes now. I use my
Yeah.
like green screen with it now, and I get a lot of comments on the camera quality. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the way to do it.
Well, unfortunately, I don't know what's going on with my webcam. It's doing this thing where it can't handle like highlights, like lamps in the background. It like makes it look really like an orb almost. It'll highlight the high points of my face weirdly. So I don't know if it's broken or if it's like my computer, but it is not working and I might need to get a new one. So in the meantime, I'm using my iPhone because it's even better than my webcam. So it's good
It'll
for
be
now,
harder to go
but
back.
yeah.
It's a hassle to set up. I will agree with that.
And I can't like
Um,
answer text messages. That's another thing too. I get worried.
which for streaming, I guess that's fine.
Yeah, it's just like what if I get like an important question from like a family member or something. I'm like, "Ugh, I can't. I don't have like iMessage
That's
on
fair.
my Windows, so
Yeah.
that's the only thing that I don't like is that I can't communicate with people if I need to. But hopefully I'll be able to get a new webcam soon. I hope that's the issue, that it's just broken and I don't waste money on another webcam. But
Sometimes I wanna like I'm pretty bad at games. I'll be like, especially puzzles and like RPGs and stuff. So I'll like want to look up the answer during a stream, and I'm like, oh right.
right, exactly. Maybe I can bring my webcam to you and we can use it on your computer and see if it still does that. Because maybe it's just my
Yeah,
computer.
could be your
I
computer.
don't
Because I
know.
mean, even looking at our stream right now, it looks good, but my camera doesn't look exactly like how it does on yours.
Hmm.
I'm slightly pinker.
Yeah, I don't know how to. I don't have any filters on, so I don't know what the deal is with that.
Like I'm looking at my camera feed and yours, and it's not too bad. It's like not too different, but I am a little
Hmm.
bit pinker.
Um,
Yeah.
Silver says, for on the topic, did you hear Netflix is developing an animated series based on Midnight Sun? For those of you who don't know, Midnight Sun is from Edward's perspective. It's a book.
Oh, I did not know that.
And they are working on, and I think it's animated, which is interesting. Obviously they can't get Robert Pattinson because those days are long gone for him. But I think that'll be so cool if they find like a similar voice actor, like a Keanu Reeves or something, to do
They can
his
get him to voice
voice.
act.
Maybe. I don't, he might, because he's getting
He's
into
been
voice
dabbling.
acting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been dabbling
And
in
he's
that.
really good at voice acting. So that would be cool if they could get him, but I won't be surprised if he just straight up says no. Um,
Maybe
but
they can't get Robbie P, so they settle for Keanu.
maybe I am wondering because, like, Twilight. Well, The Matrix came out a long time ago, but I feel like Robert Pattinson has been so prominent in like pop culture and especially his performance in Twilight, and so it's
Yeah.
like hard to ignore that performance when you're thinking of like, okay, who can voice Shadow? Well, who's like the broodiest person that we can think of? Oh, Edward Cullen, you
Yeah.
know. But maybe it was a matter of like he wasn't available. Maybe he's been working a lot recently, but because like I could see him wanting to voice a video game character. He just did a Ghibli movie,
Yeah. And
so
that's like adjacent, you
that
know?
is adjacent, yeah, for sure. And it was a really
Yeah.
bizarre character. So like I feel like he would want to voice Shadow the Hedgehog, but like maybe it was just a timing thing, a scheduling thing. I don't know.
Well, I mean, they've been kind of setting up Keanu for a while,
They
so it's like I
have, they
get it.
have, yeah,
And Keanu's obviously like a better selling
yeah,
thing as well. You say you got Keanu, people are gonna eat that up.
yeah,
He
yeah.
is a beloved person.
He is. Like, I just loved, because this was the first time that we've heard him actually like talking about the movie today. They posted a video. And that was really cool. He looks great.
He looks fantastic.
Yeah. But just seeing him doing the voice like in the booth, I was like, God, it's so effortless for him.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he's so into it at the same time, like he's using his like whole body to act. I was like, oh, this is
It's really cool to
amazing.
see. And it's like I know there's the whole like discourse of like, hey, you have these voice actors, you could use them. You don't have to use these AAA actors, right?
Yeah.
And I get that, but it's uh, you have to understand like these are also the movies are made for a broad audience, so you
Mm-hmm.
do kind of need that Hollywood pull. You
Yeah.
need the Jim Carreys, you need the Keanu Reeves, because people you say, hey, we got Roger Craig Smith. People are gonna be like,
Who?
literally, who is that? Who the frig is Roger Craig Smith?
Yeah.
Now, me, I'm excited when I see
Yeah.
Colleen O'Shaughnessy's name on the poster,
Mm-hmm.
but I promise you, the general public is not. You put any of
Yeah.
those voice actors. Oh, we got Mike Pollock as Eggman. Who cares?
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. It is like with movies, with a show, it's different. But like with movies, you really have to sell to the audiences that know nothing about Sonic. You want to get as many people in the theater as possible, even if they're not fans at all.
You
You
have to
know,
sell to parents as well.
parents,
You
yeah,
have
yeah.
to sell to parents. It's the same thing with toys and video games and anything to do with like the holiday season. Parents are ultimately the ones making the purchase for these kids.
Mm-hmm.
So parents want to also see something that they're interested in. They're like, hey, I love The Matrix.
Right.
I love uh, Jim Carrey in general. Let's go watch this. I'll have a good time while I watch it with my kid, right?
And is this not the first
So
like the first movie that Keanu Reeves has done in like a long time?
probably since John Wick, yeah.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
I've never seen any John Wick, but I heard it was good, and I think then the third one come out pretty
I
recently.
think it came out like what, 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess that was probably his most recent. I don't know. I don't really follow his career that
Because it was
closely.
between,
Like I said, I was a Matrix fan. That was like how I was exposed to Keanu.
yeah,
I feel like how everybody was, but
there was, because like Sonic was nominated for some kind of category at the Oscars, I think.
okay.
And I think I remember John Wick. Maybe it was the same year as like Sonic 2, something like that.
Oh, maybe.
Because I
Oh, yeah.
remember, I
That
remember it being
sounds funny.
like between John Wick and some other movie and that I had seen that year. I don't know, but
Also, like 4 years ago, he did Cyberpunk as well.
that's true. I don't think I saw
Yeah.
Cyberpunk.
Oh, that was the game that came out, and it was a big deal that he was like featured in the game Cyberpunk, and like
Cyberpunk
he had
was
a.
Ryan Gosling, right? Wasn't there
No,
a
you're
movie?
thinking of Blade Runner. Blade
Oh
Runner.
God,
No,
same thing.
Cyberpunk's a game made by shoot, I couldn't tell you who it's made by, but oh, it's made by the CD Project Red, I think. Yeah, CD Project
Yeah.
Red. Yeah. They did, didn't they? I think they did. I might be wrong. They might have done Witcher.
Mm.
Okay, I'm right. Okay, cool. I like how JT in the chat is confirming everything as I'm saying it. Yeah. I did used to work at GameStop for like 10 years, so I had a little bit of knowledge.
He was in
But
Toy
anyway,
Story 4.
oh, that's very funny.
Was he?
That's very funny.
Oh, that's cool. I still
I
need to
didn't know,
see it.
but yeah, so he was in that, and I remember that he was making all these like I think he was on the Game Awards. I think
Mm-hmm.
might have been the Game Awards, and that was where he did the he what was the whole thing?
I
He
do
pointed at
remember
the
that.
audience and said, "You're awesome." What did he say? So he said like, "You're awesome." He's like, "You're awesome."
I do remember him at the
What
Game
was the what
Awards.
was the word he said? It wasn't awesome. What was it? What did he say?
You're breathtaking.
You're breathtaking.
Oh,
That's
that's
it.
funny.
Yeah, that was from his Witcher, not Witcher. So that was from his Cyberpunk stage
Oh,
thing.
that's
I
cool.
think. I might be wrong about that, but yeah, that was like a big moment. Um, oh, he played Duke Kaboom in Toy Story 4. That was I think I do remember that character. That was Bo Peep's like side piece.
Oh, side piece is crazy. Okay, Bo
Hey,
Peep.
Woody wasn't in the picture for a while. It's
They
fine.
were they were on a break.
They were on a
They're on a
break.
break. Oh my gosh. That's
I only
funny.
saw Toy Story 4 once in theaters, and it was okay. It was pretty good.
I thought you said it was good.
No, it's good. It is good. It's just like the reason why people dislike it is because it didn't need, it was a very unnecessary movie.
Oh.
Toy Story 3 ends Toy Story. So when they came out with Toy Story 4, it was like, oh, this is blatant cash grab. Still good, still heartwarming, still has good moments.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful movie as well, looks gorgeous, but it's just unnecessary, and that's why people hate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. I remember you were telling me Toy Story 3. Yeah, that's one I have to see.
Toy Story 3 is, I think, the best Disney movie of all time.
Yeah. I have so many movies that I need to watch.
Yeah, we'll catch up because I have even more movies than you do. I don't watch movies.
I know.
And every time you mention a movie, I'm like, oh god, I'm so sorry.
I know we have to watch Avatar 2 before the third one comes out next year, which I'm so excited about. It's going to be, I think I talked about this last week, but the concept for the next Avatar movie is going to be like fire and ash. So it's going to be a lot of like smoky, like reds and I don't know. But basically there'll be like more fire stuff. So
I've seen some of the pictures that you shared and it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to a place called, I think it's called Meow Wolf?
Yeah.
You've been to Meow Wolf?
Oh yeah, it's so cool.
I only heard about this today. My friend was just on vacation in Denver, and she got to go to this place. She showed me pictures, and she's like, "This looks exactly like the Avatar world." And then I immediately thought of you, and I'm like, "This does look exactly like Pandora."
I was gonna say because I knew that they were going, and I was like, "Oh, they got to go to Meow Wolf," but I felt like they would figure that out because it is like the biggest thing to do in
I hadn't
Denver.
even heard of it. And I looked at it like, this looks sick. I'm like, I want to go there.
They have one in Santa Fe as well, I think. But yeah, Meow Wolf, if you don't know, it's like this this interactive like exhibit. It's like an art exhibit, but also like there's like there's rooms. So there'll be like a kitchen and you open the fridge and you can walk through to the next room through the fridge. There's like an ice area where you walk down and it's like you feel like you're in like a stage in like Diddy Kong Racing, basically. It's like all icicles. It's kind of like Frozen too. It's really cool. And then they have just like a bunch of cool stuff that you can walk through. Definitely look it up so you can see pictures because it's really cool. But if you ever get the chance to go, there's one in Denver, there's one in Santa Fe. I don't know if there's any...
I was gonna ask you if we can go. If we can go, that would be awesome.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm looking at all these pictures from Denver, and
Denver's amazing.
Sick.
Colorado is so beautiful.
They got to go to the Red Rock Amphitheater.
Oh, love that. I love Golden.
It's so funny. And Golden as well. I forgot to give the list because you gave me a list to pass.
They just figured it out.
They went to basically everything.
I figured like the two of them, they're very like adventurous. So I figured they would like figure it out just through searching. But that's cool. I'm glad they got to experience all that because those are my favorite places.
Yeah, the only place they didn't go to was Voodoo Donuts.
Oh, yeah.
They had mentioned because I forgot to pass that information off.
That's okay.
But we can get that for sure.
Voodoo's really good. They've got great donuts.
We'll gatekeep Voodoo Donuts.
Well, they have multiple locations across the United States, so.
And only we can go. Only we can
and
go.
Only
you guys
we can
aren't
go.
big enough donut fans to go to Voodoo Donuts. Don't even bother. It's ours.
Silver says Disney has confirmed they have no plans stopping Toy Story saga. That's so weird. Nobody's asking for it.
I get it though. It does make the money. Like once again, it's for kids. Kids see a Toy Story, kids go nuts for Buzz Lightyear.
Oh yeah, but it's like have some dignity. You know, it gets to a point where you're like, have some dignity for this franchise.
Yeah.
Let it die. Let it die. Let it die. What?
Silver says that Frozen 3 is coming out in 2027.
Wait, there's a Frozen 3 coming out?
In 2027 though, that's so freaking far.
See, I hate, that's why I can't stand about these companies being like, "Hey, we've got a Lion King 5.5 coming out in 2030." Like, shut up,
brother. I do not care. Then
I'll be dead by then.
I'll be dead by then.
I'll be dead by then, just like the Legend of Zelda.
Get pranked, everyone.
Someone I posted that clip on TikTok where I was talking about like how they announced the Legend of Zelda live action movie coming out in 2029. And I was like, don't tell me until it's coming out a year from now. And somebody was like, oh, they've been talking about a Legend of Zelda movie since 1998.
What a nerd.
Like, shut up.
No, they haven't.
No, they haven't.
Stupid.
I was like, oh, I almost commented and was like, oh, I didn't realize they started production in 1998. The more you know.
These gamer
Dude,
boys,
they're the
all right,
worst on
they're the
TikTok,
worst, all right.
especially the
In
Sonic
general,
ones.
listen, like I said earlier in this stream, I in high school I grew up on 4chan. Okay, that was the most
Yeah.
toxic group of people you can get on the internet. Most bad things come from 4chan. There was this whole joke on 4chan about, once you're here forever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so glad that wasn't the case for me. That was a dangerous developmental time for me, and I could have ended up just like them.
Yeah.
Now, thankfully, I didn't participate in the conversation there, but they truly do suck. You know what kind of put me off
Hmm.
was just there's a lot of childish name calling on 4chan,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just like they're coming up with these little insider slurs for like certain fans of certain things,
Oh,
um like mixing real life slurs with like other things to create their own lingo, and I'm just like this
so
feels
weird.
gross and childish to me. Is it for what's supposed to be an adult website? And I'm just like it's not great. Noodle says Twitter is the new 4chan. I mean, internet's just toxic in general,
Yeah.
but 4chan is its own beast. A few years ago, I finally took it off my like bookmark websites that I had it the same bookmarks for years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm putting this behind me. I don't go on 4chan anymore, but I used to be a daily, all day. I was on 4chan,
Mm-hmm.
so
I'm surprised it's
yeah.
still like a thing. I mean, I guess it is kind of like a gathering place for incels, isn't it?
It is, and it's hugely influential to the internet and a lot of things as well. Like they've had major effects on, the real world
Isn't it like a
there.
political thing? Like there's a lot of political gathering there.
They do have a lot of political gathering because they have different board. And now, and like, admittedly, it is an interesting site. It's very interesting the way they do it because like they have categories for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So B, which is the random board, that's the worst one
Mm-hmm.
because that's just the most toxic pile of garbage. But then they'll have V, which is like video games, which is also pretty bad. And they'll have Poll, which is the political one. But like, say for example, the GameStop. Do you remember a few years ago, GameStop stocks were
Oh
way up?
yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was
That
so
was
weird.
from 4chan. That was
Right.
from 4chan. So they basically made GameStop blow up. I worked at GameStop at the time, and that I promise you, that was the only thing that saved GameStop. GameStop would not be around if it wasn't for 4chan right now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Is that a good or bad thing? I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But
So weird. Yeah, I do remember that. That was so bizarre. Like,
yeah,
why GameStop?
there have been some good things they've done. They've gotten certain games released.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm certain they had a big part in bullying, the Sonic movie as well,
Mm-hmm.
and to giving a good model. That was the entire internet, but they are a pretty big force on the internet,
Yeah. Isn't that like
unfortunately.
Silver says like isn't that like what Reddit is though?
Reddit, so there's nothing more hated on 4chan than Redditors.
Mm-hmm.
Um, People don't like that. The thing with 4chan is it's anonymous. You
Mm.
don't make an account on 4chan. You can go on 4chan and post right now.
Oh, okay.
It's actually it's looked down upon if you can put a name in for your post. It's looked down upon if you put a name.
Oh, okay.
You don't want to put a name. People like that it's anonymous, so that's why people don't like from 4chan. They don't like the Redditors
Mm-hmm.
because it's all about the clout. So your posts are based on the perception like of other people
Mm-hmm.
because it's based on like if I make a bad post, then I have bad karma, right?
Okay.
Whereas on 4chan, that's not really the case. You make a bad post, you're not even affiliated with it because it's anonymous.
Right.
So that was, I guess, the appeal of it. So that's why it's good and bad. Like, yeah, you get an unfiltered experience. Unfortunately, you get an unfiltered experience.
That's true.
It's both good and bad in that sense because then you get the worst that humanity gets to offer because there's
Mm-hmm.
no consequence for what they have to say.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
like I said, good and bad, pros and cons, mostly bad, and I'm glad I'm not in there anymore. Don't necessarily regret my time on there because like I had some good interactions.
Mm-hmm.
There was a very lovely. I remember when they opened up a Pokemon themed board or
Oh.
channel on 4chan, and I made some friends on there because
Mm-hmm.
we would take drawing requests, and those drawing requests are actually on my deviant art still to this day, and I
Hmm.
made some friends through that the 4chan Pokemon art community.
Oh, that's nice.
So it's like I had my good moments. There's some really funny classic threads from there. I told the story last I think it was the last stream where the Digimon Angela Anaconda short caused a divorce. Was that on
Yeah,
here?
what? I feel like I saw you talking about that somewhere else.
I might have talked that about on my stream, but they had
Yeah.
a Digimon movie Angela Anaconda like pre-show, and it
Yeah.
caused a divorce. That's a classic internet story that also came from 4chan as well. So it's like they were good. Unfortunately, it is the worst people you'll ever experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't recommend going there.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a time that happened.
When I was in high school, one of like my best friends and I, like, our favorite thing to do on like a Friday night if we were having a sleepover was we would go on chat roulette.
Oh yeah, classic.
Like 14-year-old girls going on chat roulette at night.
Dangerous, dangerous.
Very dangerous, but so much fun.
Did you get unfortunate pop-ups
Of
on there?
course, of course. But we also met like people our age on there.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
for example, one of my like nicest friendships I've ever made was through chat roulette.
That's awesome.
And it's a really interesting story. But I was on there with one of my best friends, and we landed on these two Norwegian guys, which you're probably like, okay, like whatever, probably know what to expect. But we started talking, and they were like exactly our age, and so we were just talking about, like, what we did for fun and blah blah blah. We got to know each other, and then
Yeah.
because we really enjoyed talking to each other, we ended up exchanging Facebooks, which was so normal back then. It was so normal to like just give your Facebook to someone that you're like, oh, you're cool. Okay, here's all my personal information.
Yeah.
And so we basically just became really good friends with them. And one of them I haven't spoken to in a while. We kind of fell off after high school. But one of them I actually went and visited in 2019.
Oh, that's
His name is
awesome.
Magnus, and he follows me on here, but he's like super busy, so he doesn't always watch the streams. But yeah,
That's a cool name too.
yeah, Magnus, he's one of the sweetest people I've ever met. So cool, so funny. But we basically talked just like through like Skype and Messenger up until 2019. And then I went and
Yeah.
visited him because I went on a big Europe trip. And he showed me around his hometown, and it was so cool. And I was like, this all happened because of chat roulette.
All because of chat roulette.
Like, that's crazy.
No, that's so awesome. And I have like similar things as well. Like just from I mean, we always bring this example up, right? Like literally this podcast doesn't happen if it's not for a random happenstance on the internet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think our story is one of my favorite stories of all time. Even
Mm-hmm.
if we didn't end up in a relationship. I
Yeah.
think just the cool interaction that we had just through Pokemon Stadium
Mm-hmm.
releasing on Nintendo Switch Online and both of us just deciding to stream it.
Yeah.
Um, I hadn't streamed any Nintendo Switch Online games prior to that.
Mm-hmm.
I just decided I wanted to stream Pokemon Stadium because I love the mini games.
Yeah.
And then I raid out, and you're like, you're streaming this game, and that's literally how I found you, just through a Twitch raid.
Yeah. It's so random.
Right. I think it's the coolest thing, and it's like we have the footage of when we found each other. I think
That's
that's so
crazy.
cool.
Yeah.
And it's not even good footage. It's just footage. It's
No.
like, hey, we're gonna raid out to MaeMaeTown. She might be racist.
Yeah.
If she's racist, I don't. She doesn't reflect on me. Go say hi anyway. All right. Hey, have fun, chat.
Yeah, he literally
That's
was like, I
literally.
don't know, she might be racist, whatever. Here we
We'll
go.
see. Hey.
I was like, cool.
And then you're like, hey, Neodoodlez, thank you so much for the raid. How you doing,
Yeah.
dude?
Yeah. As
That's
I did
it.
with everybody.
Yeah,
Well, at the
that's what I
time,
would
I
do.
was like not really getting big raids at all. Like, you and cutting class were like the first two big raids I ever got.
And it was on the same day.
It was on the same day. Yeah, I met you and cutting class on the same freaking day.
And you know, it's funny. I didn't even find
Crazy.
that out through you. I found that out on the what I was talking to Grant on my own.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's insane because I didn't even put two and two together. It was so long ago. But yeah,
Yeah,
I met two of the greatest streamers on the same day through the same game, just Pokemon
yeah.
Stadium.
I
And I
don't know
just
what
love
the
that.
moral is that we're giving here.
The moral is that like you never know.
Give out your information on the internet.
Yeah, give out your information. No, be
Don't.
open. Be open to meeting people in unexpected ways, and they could become the most important people in your life. You
That's what I'm
know,
saying.
that is the
Hey, be
moral.
safe though when you're doing it.
Be
Be
safe,
safe.
obviously.
We're obviously, we're a little bit older. We're a little bit more knowledgeable about keeping ourselves
Yes.
safe. So we felt confident in these interactions.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, it's like with streaming, it's really easy to go and kind of fact check people because you can see that they're a real person. You can see that they live in this region, that they have people that, watch them regularly. They have friends that watch them regularly. So it's like you can kind of see like, oh, is this person like someone that I vibe with? Do we have the same interest? Are they like mean? Like,
you can literally like pull up one of their VODs and just scroll through for a second and
yeah,
get a vibe
and
from
you
them.
get a vibe
That's it.
exactly.
Yeah,
But yeah, a lot of people in the chat were there on that day, and
yeah,
that's crazy too. It's like so many people from that like one, maybe that one day or that one
yeah.
week who came in. They're still here, and like that's really really cool. And I love that.
I just, hey, big shout out to Pokemon Stadium for introducing me to
Yeah,
like my favorite person on the earth.
yeah.
That's actually like crazy. I remember I was having a moment. You and I were walking downtown Toronto,
Hmm.
and I was just like having a little like inner, not crisis, but whatever the opposite of that is.
Existential crisis.
Yeah, and I'm just like, everything in me is telling me that this should not
Mm-hmm.
like be possible
Mm-hmm.
right now. I'm walking downtown Toronto with MaeMaeTown from Switch.Park
Yeah.
right now, and we're in a relationship, a new relationship,
Yeah.
and I'm just like having a moment where I'm freaking out because I'm like, there is no world, and I was freaking. You know what was making me kind of like, it was kind of a scary feeling when I was like,
Yeah.
this this interaction we're having is based on just a tiny thread.
Yeah.
If I missed you by 5 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
if I didn't do that extra little click of a scroll wheel to find you on that
Yeah.
page, that would have been it.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy to me.
Life is very fragile.
Very fragile.
The timeline
Like
is super
that
thin.
was the first moment where I feel like I witnessed a timeline split.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, this should not be possible, and my entire life changes if
Mm-hmm.
I don't stream Pokemon Fart Ass Stadium on that
Exactly.
day. Yeah.
That's how
Or decide
crazy.
to end. Yeah, I decide to end my stream at that moment. Like
Yeah.
every factor lined up in such a way, like that
Mm-hmm.
is mind blowing to me.
I know. Life is crazy like that.
Yeah.
I think about that stuff all the time, like the decisions I make. It's like, wow, if I hadn't, um, if I had started stream late, or probably not that specifically, but
Or like if you
if I
had a
had
busy day
ended
and you're like, I'm a little tired,
if I had ended early because I was tired, then we never would have
or
met.
weren't feeling the game, never would have met.
I never would have met Grant, cutting class. Um,
Mm.
and so many people that I've met because of you in cutting class.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't know Spielermon, I wouldn't know May9K, I wouldn't know,
Wouldn't know JT.
wouldn't know JT. So many Howling Sighs, I wouldn't know so many people.
Yeah.
I can't even comprehend how many people right now, but like that's how crazy, you know, life is, and like why it's so important to be just open to, you know, I don't know,
Yeah.
just
Like I got
experiences.
to hang out with a young goose in person. I got to hang out with
I
Gus.
wouldn't have bought lunch that one time. Wait. Yeah, you wouldn't have met Goose.
I see Silver all the time, Noodle all the time, like all these amazing people
Mm-hmm.
that I got to know, and I'm just like, oh, God, hey, just know, everybody, we shouldn't know you.
Yeah, but we
Oh,
do, and that's a
none
beautiful
of this,
thing.
none of this was supposed to happen.
I know. Well, it's so funny because this was our first podcast episode. was talking about this.
Was it?
Yeah, it was called the Twitch butterfly
Oh
effect.
no! Is this the last
Is
stream?
this
Is
the
this the
last?
last episode?
No way,
We're bringing
baby.
it full circle.
We're on episode. This is episode 24. We're almost a quarter of the way into the podcast, which is nuts. We're gonna keep going. I obviously
A
can't
quarter
put a
of the way
number
into
on
the
it.
podcast.
We're a quarter of the way. 25. Yeah.
Oh well, that implies that the whole is going to be 100. Are we only doing 100?
No, like we'll just say 100%.
Okay.
Whatever that is.
Anything after 100 episodes is a bonus.
I'm not ending this podcast until I get Steven Yen on here.
Yeah, I feel like
He'll
that
be
would
the
be
last.
episode.
We'll end while we're on a high.
Yeah, of course. I think we can get. I think we can get Pokimane.
Oh yeah, we can definitely get Pokimane. I
Let's get
think
Pokimane.
I think honestly, I can get Kai.
Oh, you can get Kai. Oh, if you get Kai, whew.
And the only reason I say that is because we both live in Atlanta.
I've seen Aaron Hansen go on smaller channels before.
Yeah.
Can we just start sending out the DMs and getting people on?
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, someone's
like,
got to respond. And
all the people I mentioned, I'm big fans. I'm a new Pokimane fan.
I love Pokimane.
I really like Pokimane a lot. I know she's had some controversy in the past, but everybody has. Who cares?
Yeah.
But I've been really watching her and Lily Pichu. I'm a big Lily Pichu fan, by the way. I've been watching those two podcasts. They have one of my favorite podcasts. I talk about it all the time. It's called the Sweet and Sour Podcast, and it's so genuinely entertaining. And I've been seeing her pop up on like other podcasts as well. I'm like, she'd be such a fun podcast.
Oh my god,
guest.
she's so admirable. Like I really admire her beliefs and the way that she runs her businesses, like her whole aesthetic, the way she speaks and carries herself. I really admire her. She's a great role model. I think I'm older than her, but still she's a great role model. But as like a streamer, like she is the top in my opinion. Like she's the top female streamer for a few reasons, but like obviously there's different what are you looking at?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't read the whole chat. Sorry, I saw Anna Georgia native as well, and I'm like, Pokimane's Canadian. But then I looked up and Gus said Voxy is cool.
Is she Canadian?
And Pokimane's Canadian. Yeah.
Oh, where's she from?
That I don't know. Let me see.
I know she's Moroccan, but I didn't know that she was Canadian. That's cool. I guess I could see that. Yeah, we're both Kai lives. Well, Kai, if you're not keeping up with Kai, he is doing a subathon in LA right now for the whole month of November, and he is killing it. He just hit like 570,000 subs. His streams have been so entertaining. He has a ton of celebrity guests on every day, and yeah, he's originally not from Atlanta, but he lives in Atlanta. He's just in LA for the subathon. But yeah, so who knows? Maybe he's been also just like opening a bunch of like small streamers streams and being like, hey, and then their lives are completely changed. I'm like, what could happen to me? Little old me.
Let's see. Iman was born May 14th, 1996, 4 years younger than me, in Morocco. She spent her early childhood years in Canada, where she learned to speak French and English. So she speaks Arabic, French, and English, apparently.
So she lived in Quebec or Ontario?
Let's see. She graduated from high school in 2005 and subsequently attended McMaster University in Hamilton, Ontario.
Hamilton, shout out.
I think she's from Hamilton.
Wow.
Unless she just went to university there, but it just says Canada.
Just across the pond there.
Yeah, that's like an hour drive.
Hamilton has our favorite Korean barbecue place. Right?
It does, but that's also up the street from us as well.
I know, but that specific location has a special place in my heart. High school in 05? Yeah. No way. Not 05.
Where? I want to find out where in... Oh, she grew up in... So her parents were academics who immigrated to Quebec, but then she grew up. She grew up in St. Catharines, Ontario, which is just a little further than Hamilton.
Mm.
That's like an hour and a half, 2 hour drive out.
Okay.
But yeah, that's not too far. Yeah, so she was very local to me.
She's cool. She's really, really cool.
Yeah, she's cool.
I would love. I mean, she's obviously like a dream collaboration one day. I have a long list of collaborations, just to name a few. Game Grumps. My biggest dream is to be on Game Grumps. Like,
Oh my god.
I
I
would
used to
be
have dreams about
happy.
that. I know it's kind of like a it's like a nerdy thing.
I dream
I
about
used
that
to
all the
have
time.
dreams. Oh yeah. I remember I would be on the couch with Aaron and John at the time.
Yeah.
And like I don't know. I'm a huge Game Grumps fan. I don't really watch them actively anymore, but
Mm-hmm.
I was a day one. Actually, like literally day one. I remember hearing about JonTron, who I had just binged his videos, and I was like, God, he's so friggin' funny. And then Aaron Hansen, Ego Raptor, has been one of my biggest influences in terms of art
Mm-hmm.
and comedy on the internet since like early 2000s. So he was like my favorite artist and all that. He
Yeah.
used to post a lot more art back then. Um, I even have a post about that on my DeviantArt. If you go, it's pre Game Grumps. I basically make a post saying that Aaron Hansen is my favorite artist.
Oh, that's so
So
sweet.
I freaked out if like when I heard that JonTron and Ego Raptor are doing a Let's Play channel.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, let's go. So I watched it like first episode. I was like, I think it
It's
was Kirby
amazing.
Superstar. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
So
God. Yeah, I Game Grumps is like that's my biggest dream, 100%.
yeah.
Just I don't know what exactly cuz I don't know if they really do guest grumps anymore, but like I just want to collaborate with them.
I just want to hang out with those two
I just want to hang
so
out with them.
badly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um I am seeing Ninja Sex Party next year, which I'm really excited about. I
That's right.
got
About the
tickets.
tickets.
I
Maybe you
did.
can hit up Dan during that time.
Yeah, I'll be like, "Hey! Hey!
Dan.
Dan,
Dan.
Dan."
He's like, is a
Yeah.
dinosaur laser?
Welcome
You're like,
to my parents' house. He's like taking his clothes off.
Daddy,
Daddy, Brian,
help!
Tupperware remix party.
Daddy, don't you know?
No,
You're
no,
like,
I've seen a few like Game Grumps live shows, like adjacent shows, like Ninja Sex Party and Game Grumps
Did you
live.
ever go to like? Oh, so you've been to Game Grumps Live?
Hmm.
That's right.
I
Yeah.
went with Cam
Um,
2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago.
that's so cool.
It
I've
was so
never
much
gone to
fun.
Game Grumps Live. The only thing I did was Scribble Showdown,
Yeah.
which had Aaron. Aaron was there, so I was like so. I don't really get like starstruck like that, but I was for that.
Hmm.
It was like this guy's been my idol since I was like
Oh yeah.
13, right?
Hmm.
So it was a big deal for me. But I saw Scribble Showdown. Ross was there as
Hmm.
well, and a couple other big names. I think Odd One's Out, who's
Yeah.
also pretty cool. And who else was there?
Jaden
Was it Jaden
Animations.
Animation? I think who couldn't make it. There was somebody who couldn't make it.
Hmm.
It might have been Jaden. I think she couldn't make it, so we got Domix instead,
Hmm.
who's another really cool YouTube animator, and he was also local. He lives just like down the street. So that's why he came. He just showed up. He took the GO train to
Yeah.
Union.
Oh.
So, yeah, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Gus says, I would shit my pants if May X Game Grumps happened. It's me too. My friend met Aaron at MagicCon Vegas. I hope I can meet him through Magic the Gathering. I feel like you could. I just love like they are so like down to earth, you know?
Yeah,
Um I just feel like they're very, I don't know. They're just good guys. They're really good guys and I would love to be in the same room as them creatively. Like that would be really really cool.
I have some close friends, mainly one who is mutuals with Aaron
It's crazy.
on Twitter, and it's like, how do I get it? How do I get in
How
on
do I
this?
get in?
How do I get in? I need to do more Game Grumps fan art. I think that's what I got to do.
Yeah, for sure. I
Because they
mean,
connect with the fans all the time. I mean, look at Space Bear, who does like their
oh
musical
my
edits.
god,
Now he's
yeah.
like a mainstay on their channel, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's no hurt in trying.
Yeah, I guess I got to start with the Game Grumps animateds and all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, they really have like some of their like most popular merch items are collaborations with smaller artists and like a lot of their NSP's music videos have been animated by I think it's Apartment 4D, I think is the name of the
Mm,
studio, but they're like
yeah,
a small stop motion studio and they've done like a handful of NSP music videos.
yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Hey, there's one thing about them, they support the artists.
They
They
really
do.
do. And they're very
Yeah.
like considerate of, their fans, and just I'm so happy that they've, had the success that they've had, and they continue to have it as well. I also love
Yeah.
another group would be Super Mega. I've always loved them. They edited for Game Grumps at one point, but they stand on their own in terms of like comedy.
Yeah.
And I would love to at least like do a podcast episode with them cuz they're so funny. Matt and
They're
Ryan.
so funny. Yeah, yeah.
Um Making a good GG animated is pretty clean, and I feel like you could do that. I feel like you could do a Game
Yeah,
Grumps
I'm
animated.
I'm new to like animated stuff, but I can probably poop
I
something
think
out.
if you work long enough on it, I think you could do it,
Oh yeah,
you
I
know?
think I actually I think I have the format down.
I
I'll
could
do a
clip
Game Grumps animated.
I
Why
could
not?
clip some stuff for you.
Yeah, give me a good moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Chat. That does bring us to our 2 hour mark. Should
Yeah.
we? Because like I'm in a conversation flow right now, but
Oh
I
yeah.
realize podcast episodes gotta end sometime.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say before we ended. Um I wrote my first negative review today
Ooh, for the auto
for the
shop.
auto shop. Yeah. So I got my car worked on yesterday, and I got 4 new tires cuz I'm driving to Canada. So I was like I need to get new tires, new brake
Mm,
pads, the works. So I got all 4 tires, brand new brake pads, rotors, whatever else comes with, tire maintenance. I had it done. And usually all of that takes like maybe 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours. And it took them 6 hours to do everything.
yeah, that's nuts.
And I stayed there at the shop because last time it only took like 3 hours, which is like nothing for me. I can just go on TikTok and boom, 3 hours are done.
Yeah,
But I had an appointment first thing in the morning, so at 8 o'clock when they opened, I was there with my car. And especially if you have an appointment, like you would think you'd be first in line to like get your stuff done.
yeah,
And I didn't leave till 2 p.m. And so by that time, I was so upset because it took way longer than it was supposed to, and nobody really told me that it was going to take 6 hours. If they told me that, I would have like gone somewhere else.
yeah.
But there was just like a lack of communication. And when I was finally checking out, the lady was like, so you're going to receive, a customer survey. Is there any reason why you wouldn't give us 10 stars today besides the time? And I was just so mad. And I was
Don't
like,
say besides the time. That's a factor.
it's like, so you guys know. So
You can't just
know,
say besides the bad things. Was it good?
besides the obvious thing, like we took forever and we didn't inform you, would you give us 10 stars? And I was like, yeah, well, besides that, I probably would give 10 stars. But it did take a long time. And I
Yeah,
was like, swipe my card and was like, okay, bye. And I received the customer satisfaction email, and I actually like gave a bad review. But like I also
right.
gave, I gave like they were really nice. I'm just confused as to if like why make an appointment if like it's going to take 6 hours. Like should I just drop my car off like everybody else and it'll take the same
Yeah,
amount of
because it
time?
seems like they were prioritizing them. Listen,
It felt like it, yeah.
I don't. I've said this before, but I don't endorse, being a Karen. But sometimes they're valid and sometimes it's necessary. Usually, don't do it if you can avoid it. But people really don't listen or help you unless you put up a fuss. And I hate that
Yeah.
that's the case because back when I worked, retail and customer service, um, and I even work, with clients now, like if someone was nice, I'd be more willing to give them help. As soon as
Mhm.
somebody got heated, I'm dismissing them.
Yeah.
I promise you, this issue is not getting above me, and you're not going to get help
Yeah.
because you're a piece of garbage.
Mhm.
That's how I handle things. I encourage people to be kind to us. If you're kind to us, I'm going above and beyond for you because you treat people like people.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, other people that are working customer service do not value that. They think, oh, because this person is being nice to us, I can prioritize the company's money and
Right.
dismiss them because they're not going to put up a fuss. It's like, no, you shouldn't have done that because now you're going to have to deal with major customer issues.
Exactly.
And it's like now you're what creates Karens.
Yeah. And it's like also, like, I do not believe in being not kind to people, especially when they're working, because, like,
Oh yeah.
there are things that, like, they have no control over. Most things they have no control over, especially if it's like you have the people working on the cars and the people running the desk. Those are two completely different groups of people. So, like, there's no point in being mad at the person who's answering the phone, because, like, they, as much as they want to, they can't rush the guys working on the cars because they're going to do what they want to do. And
Yeah.
I can't help but feel like it took 6 hours because they were nonchalantly doing other things while they had my car up on the thing. You know, like they
Yeah.
would take my tires off and then go do something for 30 minutes and then come back and do it, because it doesn't make any sense. If they're working on my car, why would it take 3 hours to take my tires off? And
Well, that's the thing,
then
and it's very much they're getting paid hourly probably, and it's just like who cares?
that's
We're
what I was
here.
stressed about, because I was like, some places they charge by time, some places they charge by just the job, like what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so in this place, they charge like, I think $80 for labor, but they charge per service for labor.
Good.
So it's like
Okay.
you get your tires changed, $80. You get brake pads put on, $80. Rotors, $80. So they charge for each thing that they're doing. Luckily, it wasn't by time, but it's still like you have to pay for every single thing that you're getting done, which is why it's
Yeah.
good to try to learn that stuff yourself. I don't have the tools to jack up my car and do it myself. So
Mm.
and it's like brakes and tires, that is like the most important thing on your car that will save you from an accident. So
Yeah.
I want it to be done by a professional. I don't trust myself to do it. And so it sucks because it's like I don't really have a choice here. And I wish that there was more like care when it comes to that, because it's like women especially get taken advantage of at auto shops all the time. It's like, I don't know if I'm being taken advantage of. I will say though, when the guy first came and quoted my services, he gave me a number and it was like $1,700. And
Oh.
I was like, and he was like, is everything okay? And I was like, that's more than I was expecting. And he took $200 off. And I was like, so you can just take $200 off? Okay.
Yeah. Even 1,500 sounds like a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like it's the labor, and they overcharge for like the brake pads. Like usually if you go to the auto parts store, brake pads are like $30, but at the shops they
Mm-hmm.
charge like 100 or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But like I said, I don't have the tools to do that myself, and I want it to be done correctly.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Especially when
I
you're gearing up for like a major drive, you just want
yeah,
to make sure it's all done.
I do.
Like you could learn how to do it, and I know you could 'cause you're very handy.
Mhm.
Um, and when you want to learn something, you learn that thing. So I'm fully certain. But like for the first time doing it, you don't want it to be a long drive,
Right.
right?
I don't want to
While you're
test it out.
learning, for the Canada drive, you do it for like the local little drive to the
Yeah.
store, the grocery store. You're like, hey, let me just see if I can do this.
I can change the air filters, no problem. But like
Yeah.
the tires and stuff, and like the engine, girl, I don't trust myself. I've said this before, but like I would love to do like a semester of auto trading. Is that what you call it? Auto trade? It's a trade where
I
you
guess so.
you
Yeah.
learn how to work on cars.
I kind of regret in high school we had a fully functioning auto shop, and basically people could bring their cars to this auto shop for a heavily discounted price,
Mhm.
because it's for educational purposes
Right.
with high school kids. And in typical Neodoodles fashion, I didn't do a single piece of work. I never did a single thing in that
Damn.
class. I didn't learn anything because I didn't participate. I would sit there in my desk and just draw.
Man, I
I
would
would
give
get the
anything.
pity 50%. That was a pass, for just showing up, and that's what I would do.
Well, it would be different if I like had a family member or a family friend that knew this stuff. I would just go to them. I don't know a single soul even outside of the state. I don't know a single soul that works on cars. If
Yeah.
you are that person, let me know. But yeah, I just like I wish there was like a cosmetology school version of auto shops where you can go and it's like, okay, it's super discounted because like it's educational. I would go there all the time,
Yeah.
you know? But it's just
Check
such
out
a shame.
local high schools. They might
Maybe.
have something like that. Yeah.
I don't know because we certainly didn't do that in my area, but
Hmm.
I would love to learn how to work on cars, but it's so expensive to learn anything. Like
It is.
to
Yeah.
go to like a class, it's really expensive here. So I don't know. So yeah, I left them kind of a negative review, just being like, I don't understand why it. I don't feel like it should have taken 6 hours because I had an appointment and it was just tires and brake pads and rotors. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't have to order anything. Yeah, I just kind of felt like they were frigging around for 6 hours, and
I think that's probably the case. Like I said,
that's
there's not
not
really
okay.
incentive to work harder or faster. Um,
Yeah, it's
tell
insane.
you tell you what, chat. I do have to pee.
Yes.
I got, we got to wrap it up, unfortunately. Um, is there a closing? Do you have the closing statement?
Do you have the closing statement? I what did I say? Now I lay me down to sleep. I did not kill that man. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. That's my closing statement.
Yeah.
But I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your week. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving meal, everybody.
Ooh,
I'm
if
gonna
you celebrate.
if you celebrate. If you just want the food, like honestly, that's why I celebrate. I just like to eat.
Or if you're
Um,
Canadian,
or if you're
you still
Canadian, then
celebrate.
it doesn't matter. Um, I'm gonna try to stream on Thanksgiving. I might do like a little cooking and then mukbang kind of thing.
I would
So
love that.
if you get tired of your family or if you are alone, like I am, you can watch me stream. Even if I don't stream the cooking part, I'll probably still do like a mukbang thing, and then we'll
Yeah,
watch stuff or something. I don't know.
that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
But yeah, gobble gobble, bitches, as Gus says. But yeah, I hope everyone has a great week. I hope it's not too stressful for you because I know it can get kind of stressful. And yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Thanks
that's
for
all I
coming
gotta
through.
say.
We had a really nice turnout today. I appreciate all of you
Mm-hmm.
coming through. Once again, Spotify listeners,
Yes.
come watch us on twitch.tv/MaeMaeTown. This is where the content is. This is where the chat interactions happen.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely come do that. And also, for Twitch viewers and YouTube viewers, we post this podcast on Spotify as well. We also record it live on Twitch. So if also for YouTube listeners, you can come over here and check us out as well.
Yeah.
So everybody follow on all the platforms. There's benefits to each. If you wanted the audio version, you want to listen to it on your commute, all on Spotify and all that stuff.
Yes.
So
All that good
yeah,
stuff.
that's about it. That's about it.
But we love you
Anyway,
guys. We love you guys, and we hope you have a great week, and we will see you in the next episode.
okay, I love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.